goodness. What is up, the chat? So throw some A's in the chat if you can hear your boy speak right now. What is up, you guys? Good to see everybody in tonight. Throw some A's in the chat if you can hear your boy speak. Already coming in with some weird energy up in here. What is up? What is up, everybody? Thank you so much, everybody, for stopping by. Oh my goodness, tonight it's gonna be a silly stream, right? Throw those A's in the chat if you are already in here, you guys. I apologize if you can hear that ridiculous motor outside. I had to actually open up this. I had to open up the window because my goodness. What is up? What is up? Stick Vicious, how you doing, man? Catching me on a weird one right now, right, dude? So I actually set up this very, very old setup that I've had here for, I mean, I'm talking about an interface that I probably used when I was first starting to learn, right? So I actually tweaked the crap out of it. I resoldered a couple things over here. The mute button is a little weird, right? But everything is good and it looks like it's working. And this thing is actually what's able to give us some really strange effects like these. Good to see everybody in the chat. Happy that everybody is here. What's up, moderators? Mark Roach, Samantha H, how you doing? Cal L, what is up, DJ? Good to see you guys in here. KYP, good to see you in here. Man. It's gonna be a good night tonight, you guys. It's gonna be a good night every night, right? Did anybody make some cash? Did anybody do some good stuff? Did anybody do some good stuff in the markets? Oh, KYP, that's so kind of you. Thank you so much. Absolutely. We'll go ahead and cover that one for you. Not a problem whatsoever, okay? So, yeah, you guys, so tell me, what are you guys long? What are you guys short? What are we doing in the markets today, guys? I want to know if you guys are actually winning, if you're losing. What is the deal? Mr. Levitz, good to see you in here. Patrick L, Save Pop Culture, good to see you. Sebastian Lim, always good to see you here, my brother. Yeah, man, oh my goodness. Guys, I couldn't even tell you the amount of like weird things that I've been having to go through to get some quality audio up in here. Man, it's been quite the event, right? So I actually had to take a break a little bit from charting a little and cook for my daughter earlier today, right? So she said, I'm hungry, and she said she was just gonna make another egg sandwich. I'm like, no, oh my goodness, no, let's go ahead and cook something, right? So I ended up putting the charts down for a little bit and I cooked for the baby girl. Okay, so everything was very delicious tonight. We actually did some Chinese cuisine, right? And I actually posted some pictures up. I hope you guys saw them and it got your grub on after them, right? Sebastian Lim coming in the chat. What is up, man? Beso Amy, good to see you. Good to see you. You're just here for the theme song. Oh my goodness. Oh goodness gracious. So actually, we are going to be talking about Stick Vicious. We're going to be talking about a few tickers. We're going to be starting off with, I think, let's go ahead and see what we have here on the list. I got to make sure that we cover everything tonight. And actually, VS is one of the tickers that we're going to be looking at because there is another person in the Discord who actually requested this as an early request as well, and I think it was T Wood, of course. Okay, you guys, we're definitely gonna check that out, right? So, and I actually saw a little bit earlier someone was asking me about let's see, I'm sorry, someone was asking a personal question. I don't think he was actually here, but regardless, we are all here and we're all enjoying. We're gonna just let the chat actually come right back. We're gonna let the chat get a little healthier and a little full in here before we get the analysis started, right, you guys? So really excited to be here tonight, you guys. Tell me, what are we doing in the market? Stick Vicious. I don't like the little bloods right there. I actually did find out some pretty cool things about a few tickers in here, okay? So I actually mentioned to you guys yesterday the ticker VS, right? I think it was yesterday that I mentioned it. So the reason why I'm mentioning it is because this is starting to show that weakness little by little. Please notice how critically oversold this is on the stochastic momentum. We are reaching historic lows down here, okay? So this is actually something that's going to be presenting a potential reversal soon enough, of one of which I'm actually going to be running a back test of tonight. The reason why I'm saying this is because please notice how long we've been in that critical volatility. We actually are looking at an expansion phase that's been lasting for, let's see, since February 1st, okay? And we're on the 16th now. So this thing, as soon as it starts contracting and this pivot actually starts making the upside, oh my goodness, man, there could be something interesting in line for ticker symbol VS. And I know there's a lot of people wanting me to actually run that analysis, right? I am going to be running that back test, so no problem, you guys. We are going to do that, and everything will be good. And KYP, thank you for your dono, and also Sebastian Lim, thank you so much for that donation as well. KYP, did I actually get you to? Oh, okay, I see. Let's see. So you're in AMC, you're in APE, and you're also in GTII. CRTD is another story. Oh my goodness. So what's actually, you know what? I have not been keeping up with CRTD. Can you guys just go ahead and fill me in with what's been happening with it? Has it been moving up, or has it been coming down, or what's the deal with it? Oh my goodness. Mark Roach saying HPCO and let's see, IBIO with lots of action today. Wow. Why did it move, bro? Was that on news or what? Anthony, thank you so much. He says, hey Arca, keep up the good work. Really appreciate you, man. Really appreciate that, guys. So I'm actually asking the chat now, how does this sound, by the way? Does it sound okay? I actually compared the sound before from my other interface and this crazy Frankenstein thing that I'm using right now. But how does it sound in comparison? I actually noticed that the other one sounded way cleaner, right? But still, I feel like this is about as close as I can get it with all of the knowledge that I've gathered over the years of engineering music, right? So, oh my goodness, man. I'm just having fun with this thing because it has a bunch of little weird knobs that I used to use back in the day, right? But it's there and it's actually loud and it's working, right? I think that's the most important part. So, Sebastian Lim saying CRTD have been getting even more red. What? Really? Wow, I thought it was supposed to be running up with GTII. That's a very interesting situation here. So, Sebastian Lim, with your donation, you said, Arca, do you mind going through AMC again after a nice close after hours? Absolutely, man. I encourage you to look at that video too. We'll definitely go over it here. I just want to make sure that you are watching that video too, okay? So I'm gonna go ahead and put you on the list as number 3, okay? So we have just a couple of tickers. I'm sorry, it's number 4. We have a couple of tickers that I owed from yesterday. So let me go ahead and put you down there, and we'll go over those tickers for sure, okay? So yeah, what's going down? I thought CRTD was supposed to run in tandem with base. So Amy, I got you, no problem. I thought it was supposed to be running with GTII, right? So there, by the way, guys, if you're not aware already, the PPI data actually did get released today. I'm sorry, I read it wrong yesterday. I thought it was actually a 4 expectation, but it was a 5.4 expectation. And the last rating we got was actually, the last print was 6.5. And we actually came down to 6. I think it was about 6.2 or 6, right? So it didn't meet that 5.4 expectation. So that is why the markets reacted the way it did. Lots of blood in the streets. Guys, it was not a good day for a lot of things. It's just, this is literally what I told you guys last night. I was telling you to keep an eye on that PPI data because it could present some volatility in the markets, right, you guys? So we did get that read. It wasn't necessarily a miss, but I honestly think it was a huge overreaction to the markets, okay? I do not think, PPI is supposed to foreshadow what CPI is going to do. So, we dropped from 6.5 to 6. It's not, we're on the right path. So I don't know. And I'm also not sure how the Fed is actually going to perceive or take that, right? So what we're betting for is that this was just an overreaction, and the markets will likely continue on that upside tomorrow, right? So I'm hoping that's the case, right? So like I said, I actually did not go back to the charts tonight. I spent some time with my daughter and my son, so I actually did some cooking, right? I had the little guy on my arms while I was cooking. My daughter had to help me a lot, right? But it was still very good. So Sebastian Lim, oh, see, I'm sorry, Mark Roach, you're saying IBIO is an AI-driven innovator of precision and, oh, wow, antibody. What is that? Immunotherapies? Wow. Today announced the disclosure of MUC16 as a target of the latest immune oncology program. Wow, I'm sorry, I never read those words, so I'm a little illiterate with those things, right? So interesting things. So IBIO is actually something that I would like to look at later for you too, my dude. So I'm going to put it in the list just so that we can catch up with it later, right? So Mark Roach, and we're going to go ahead and put that, say again, what was it? What? IBIO, right? Good stuff. Really appreciate everybody for stopping by. Please make sure to subscribe to the channel. Hit that like button on your way in so that we can make sure to catch some good stream here for some people, right? We need to get more people in here. We still, yeah. It looks like the chat is filling up. It's going good. But chat, go ahead and let me know. What else are you guys doing? Sebastian Lim saying CRTD, stochastic momentum, looks ready to move up as well. Okay, very interesting. Stick Vicious, Q2 bounce coming up. What do you think? Well, that's actually entirely dependent on the broader markets, right? So if we're looking at, I mean, today was like a huge bloodbath. I mean, I'm talking about what was it? 2 points. I think it was a 2 point deficit on that the SPX. So let me just give a quick eye to the SPY, and let's see what it's got for us, right? So actually this would be good for us to kind of just look at before we start the analysis, because we want to just make sure that the markets are doing okay, right? It looked a little concerning today, but nonetheless it's all good, right? So let's see. This looks like one that I've looked at recently, so I'll go ahead and just load up this one real quick. And this is not don't consider this as per se a request. Consider this one as more of a, we should probably look at the markets to see how we're doing for the coming days, right? Just in case of anything, okay, you guys? So let me just go ahead and take a look at this right now for SPY. Okay, so let's see. Right away, the daily RSI is actually suggesting a downside continuation. So this is very interesting right now because of a few reasons. Okay, first of all, we've actually made the upside continuation here without actually coming back to test the newly converted resistance into support of this huge broadening descending wedge, right? So if that's going to be the case, then that would be a huge capitulation. But actually, let's measure it just in case, right? We're gonna take a look at all the time frames right now, but likely the indicators got flashed based on the bearish price action today. So it would be an additional 3% to the downside, just over 3%, right? So that would be a little, I mean, that's kind of a lot, right? So if this drops 50%, you know that it's going to drop another 3 points on the SPX and the NDX actually. So that would be very scary. So let's see. We already converted that EMA 7 and the SMA 10 as a resistance, so that's already looking sketchy. Okay, so let's go to the immediate short term, just like always, right? So we're already reaching oversold on the 30-minute immediate short term. Let's build the blocks here. Bi-hourly is crossing into the bear strength percentile, but please notice that it looks like it's losing. Okay, nice. It looks like it's losing a little bit of that bear strength, and it's also sitting on the gravitational pull of the bear strength percentile. So that could present some pretty good stuff here. Yes, I do know, Mark. I actually am not officially starting. I'm just covering this just to keep some good vibes and also, just pre-analysis. Oh my goodness. Chase Cross, if I am not able to get to it, I'll make sure to put it on the books either way. Okay, my dude. So you're talking about, oh, and it's looking good too. Nice. So FUSN, right? So I'll go ahead and put it down right here, and we'll definitely take a look at it as soon as we possibly can, right? So if we're looking at a continuation to the downside, but with some limited downside pressure, could it be actually getting ready for a bounce? And if so, where? All right, but I mean, the 6-hour time frame is still suggesting a downside continuation. Let's go to the 12. Okay, so the 12 hours getting a little more aggressive in that downside continuation for the broader markets, right? So there is absolutely some pressure to be expected. However, it's not as steep as it was here, right, for this instance. So there is a little bit of slowing of that pressure, just like it is on the bi-hourly and the 4-hour, right? 6-hour, sorry. So let's see. It looks like it could be limiting soon. Let's go to the bi-daily. Okay, and the 3-day may have that support. There you go. All right, so yeah, we have the 3-day showing support from that 14-day simple moving average. If I were to combine, this is very discretionary. Remember, guys, I'm not actually practicing any type of mathematical models within this. This is just raw price action and full discretion so that I can be able to show you how that works too, okay? And I don't always practice mathematical models, I would love to, right? But it's not always the case here, okay, you guys? So what we are looking at here is potential bounce from the SMA 10 at 403.18. If that is the bounce zone, let's try to see if we can. Okay, let me make a trend line here, and we're going to take some fibs and see if that could be in line with some type of a golden mean or something. So let's just see if we can match it up. It's getting, that's very close. I'm actually not even sure if it would. It may be the 236, but let's just take an inverse fib. Actually, you know what? From the previous days, swing low to the swing high inversely with a fib, right? So let's go ahead and take that now. Got the wrong tool. Here we go. Okay. All right, so it's actually, let's see, it's actually taking us, oh, that's pretty nice, actually. It's taking us to the 272 at 403.54. We were talking about what on the 3-day? That was a 3-day, right? So, all right, and take a look at this. Yeah, it's perfect. I think honestly that there are two potentials here. This one would be the less likely one, but I honestly feel that it could be a short-term bounce and then create this new higher low or a lower high structure, right? So in this case, there is a bounce area that we could face at 406.58, but it may not be fully there. It's sharing a space with the EMA 7. Okay, so that's very good, but I honestly have to favor maybe the 272 at 403.54. I may be a little bit over bearish, but please notice the size of these candles, okay? So it looks like this candle that we're printing now may actually have the liquidity and the juice to actually continue on to the downside and print a long wick like this, right? So that would be good. So if we can find that bounce zone, then that would be amazing, because going all the way down here to a full 3%, that would be a very, very not so desirable situation. Well, for at least for the longs that are already long up here, right? But for the new opportunities, it would be amazing, because it would actually fall in line in between the 4-spot 236 and the 3-spot 618, and that's kind of, that's huge. We have to be careful. Also, this 3-day candle iteration is going to be ending in about just literally under 16 hours in about 40 seconds, right? So very interesting things here, okay, you guys? We have to be very careful with what we're looking at in the markets right now. It looks like it's just gonna pull back though, even though this is a huge decline. Please notice and also keep in the perspective the overall picture. Let's go ahead and just block the visibility here so you can see what's going on, okay? Please look at this formation, okay? That formation is very similar to a lot of formations that we've been looking at. Take a look at the formation here for GTII, okay? And I think there's actually a few tickers that are doing that similar formation. I'm not even sure if actually BTC is doing, no, BTC, oh, that's a weekly, and this is the 3-month, of course. But let's go ahead and go to the bi-daily or the 3-day and see if it's actually creating any of those movements like those, right? It looks like it's trying to do it, right? But no, it's not really running. It's not really running on that path, right? But yeah, there's still a few. I think GNS was the one. There we go. And I don't actually have it up right now, but it's okay. But yeah, this is just making a series of higher highs, and potentially coming back down here would be another low, okay, a higher low, of course. But again, guys, the bounce area that I'm looking at and could potentially be the area for a continuation to the upside, similar to what happened here before continuing, right? Not all the way down, but just ever so slightly, so that it can continue grabbing more and more bulls on that way up. Okay, so there is that bounce zone that I'm talking about. I would give you the range of about 403.20 to about 401.93 before a continuation onto the upside. Okay, are we actually facing? Oh my goodness, man. So there's downside all the way to the 3-day. Even the 5 days showing that very limited downside as well. And also notice just how we've been using that 14 days simple as that form of support before continuing on to the upside. So yeah, I think the markets are still looking pretty good. I wouldn't put too much worry into this. When we would start to get worried is actually making any candle closures below $394, which would be actually acquiring the inside of this broadening descending wedge again. In that case, then we would actually have to start reevaluating and taking a look at some things here, right? So just know for a fact that we're still keeping an eye on it, and we'll see what's up. Cal L, you need a bear voice profile for when the analysis goes bearish. Then like a high-pitched one for cheery analysis. Oh my goodness, man. There's actually this thing. Oh no, it doesn't have a pitch shifter. I was looking right now on the effects of this little mixer and to see if it has any fun effects like that. But no, it has things like echo and like things like reverb, some phasers and stuff. Very, very, very introductory or rudimentary type of effects on this thing, right? So nonetheless, it's actually sounding pretty good though. I am happy that it's allowing us to have some quality for our analysis. So that's what I'm happy about. Please make sure to hit that like button, you guys. If you are on your way in, make sure to subscribe to the channel and refer to the links in the description below for you to join the Arca Bulls trading community and Discord. And also, please come by and say hello on Twitter. No problem, my stick. Let's go ahead and actually revise some of this list. What do we have to look at? 854 to 902 SPY. Thank you so much, my dude. Really appreciate you. And yeah, you guys, I just wanted to make sure that we can get some broader market activity out of the way because it looks bearish, and this bearish activity will actually push things to the downside a bit. E, what's up, man? Good to see you. Appreciate the SPY analysis. You're very welcome, my dude. I wanted to just make sure to cover that a little bit. You know, I literally just said it. I just want to be super careful about how we proceed in the markets moving forward, at least for the next. If we're gonna face this reaccumulation period, please know that it can last about 5, 6, 7 days. Okay, so it's not just gonna be like a full-on blast all the way to the bottom unless some news of I don't even want to say the word, right? So it's just war, right? So if we were to face something like that, then yes, we can capitulate fast. But I mean, this is showing that we could actually gradually move down to these levels, and potentially in the next 2 days we can reach all the way down to this level here, which could honestly present some pretty good opportunities for getting long some puts, right? So in that case, we can make some pretty good things. Right, so Adrian, what is that, man? Looking forward to joining the Discord. Please go ahead and oh, you know what? I actually may. Let me see. Oh, I don't actually have it here, but I was gonna say that I'm not exactly sure if. Oh, I got it. I got you, man. Let me go ahead and paste that link right in the chat here, and so that you guys can go ahead and just follow it. And here you go. And there it is, man. So please go ahead and follow that link and go ahead and just verify. There's a whole oh, actually, I don't know if I'm not even gonna say it. Cal L, in respects to you, I'm just gonna keep it like that. All right, so puts pay just as well as calls. They definitely do, and they're both long in this situation, right? So you definitely don't want to sell any puts right now because you'll lose money. So all right, you guys, so definitely go long puts if it's going down. All right, so yeah, and actually going long on a put, it does not mean that you're going short the stock. Okay, so going short the stock is quite different than going long a put. All right, you guys, so just know that you're still betting on you're betting on the downside via long ways. Mark Roach saying Discord is fire, great community. Dude, I actually see you. I saw the pictures that you posted for the Big Bear snowboarding trip. That's very cool, man. And I'm really happy that you're getting to kind of understand how that whole community works in there, right? Newfie, hi Arca, watching from what? Newfie, what's going on? Why are you in the hospital bed? Actually, I'm sorry. I don't mean to just pry like that, right? I hope you're okay is the better statement that I should be making. But if it is not so personal, please go ahead and share. Are you okay? Is everything fine? And is there anything that I can send you via mail? I'll send you a whole burger. And or a salad. You know, I'm not trying to say that there's some vegan people. I get you. Just keeping it a little weird right here, right, guys? Mark Roach saying to please like and subscribe. Please go ahead and share that Arca Bulls is live right now. Okay, Newfie, I'm so sorry to hear. So you have some heart issues. That is tremendously saddening. I hope that they can actually figure out what's going on and get you back on your feet and back to that life, right? I will actually extend the best wishes for you, and I will also let my family know that we have to extend the best wishes for you as well, okay? So they're going out to you. I'm literally holding my hand to the screen right now, and I hope that it reaches you. You know, it sounds silly or whatever, but I truly do hope for you to come back and continue on just the way we've been going, right? So best of luck and a quick recovery to you, Newfie. Thank you for stopping by. It's really humbling to know that you would consider coming on and still, watching this, watch this live stream even in your situation. That's very humbling to know. Thank you so much. Moderator Mark Roach is hoping you get better as well. Thank you, guys. Thank you so much. Please wish Newfie a fast recovery, okay, you guys? Please wish a fast recovery. Nick, Tesla, I'm going to go ahead and try to run as best as I can on that one, man. I am not sure, but what I can tell you is that if the markets are still bleeding, expect a continuation to the downside for Tesla. Tesla is already bleeding hard, okay? So what I'm trying to say is that I have a huge list to consider, and I want to make sure to get through those because I owed a lot of tickers from yesterday too, okay, you guys, of which we actually should just get started now and actually start getting this analysis out of the way, okay? But regardless, I'm gonna go ahead and add it down here on the list no matter what, okay? So Nick, Nick, I'm not sure if you're also in the Discord. I'm sorry, because there's a lot of people who have different names for their for their YouTube handle versus their Twitter and their Instagram and their whatever. I can't keep up with so many name changes, right? So go ahead and join the Discord if you haven't done so already, and please go ahead and put Tesla in the early access for the ticker pickers, okay? So the first ticker that we are going to be looking at tonight, hold on just a sec, guys. I understand that actually Sebastian, right. I got you, bro. I got you. I remember that you were talking about the things for yesterday. I did mention BTC having that top. And we were likely to pull back. To be very honest with you, man, if we're looking at that top right now, we are, let's see, 23,835 on Bitcoin. The pressures of the broader markets may actually push this just a little bit lower, and I'm talking about maybe about 23.5. But the thing is here is that if we break, I'm gonna give it to you very in a huge discretionary manner right now, okay? If we break below and close a daily candle closure below 22,009, then we actually can start talking about the potentials of coming back to the range of 21.7 and 21.3. Okay, so this is actually a very important range that we should consider, okay? We don't want to dip below that, okay? So right now, 23,008 is absolutely healthy. We're definitely making that upside continuation. In 16 hours, we're going to be closing this 3-day iteration. If we do maintain this type of posturing in the price action, we will be able to continue that upside, okay? So this is still looking good for BTC, but we have to keep in mind, please remember, we have to keep in mind what's happening in the broader markets as well, okay? So regarding Tether, please notice that we are at 23,758. I'm talking spot price action, right? I know I'm on the weekly chart right here. It doesn't matter. I'm just giving you the targets because that's essentially how I'm looking at them, okay? Not to mention that this is printing another ridiculous formation here. It looks like another bull flag, right? Before that continuation onto the upside, just like this. It looks like we're actually starting to make that reaccumulation phase again before another leg up. And in that leg up, oh man, breaking through, let's see. Oh, no way. If we break through the range of about, let's see, we need to break the resistance of 25,256 to 25,745. If we break this range, it's gonna slide to about 26,007. So in the deep 26s. Okay, so close to 27 grand. And that would be the next area of resistance. I mean, very, very likely to find an area of resistance there. Okay, you guys. So and then from there, man, breaking that would also have a slide all the way up. Man, that's the beauty about the capitulation that we were facing, is that when we're on our way up and there are not that many relevant areas of resistance, ooh, that would be an easier way because no one is looking at those resistance levels there. Okay, so this is looking pretty good for BTC. Nonetheless, all right, so yeah, my dude, just know that I'm looking out for you. I just wanted to give you that touch on BTC as well. So yeah, guys, let's go ahead and go over that list real quick. Let me just make a couple adjustments here on the chat because I see some notifications coming up and all kinds of should I show this and should I show that. I can't see the chat anymore. Hold on just a sec, guys. Oh my goodness, man, what is going down here? Okay, so we're gonna get rid of this. Okay, we already saw SPY. We talked about BTC a little bit. I want to talk about a ticker, DPLS. Okay, that was actually an early access one in the Discord. We are also going to talk about AMIH, and we're going to talk about VS as well. Okay, so I want to make sure to look at those because there's some very interesting price action happening there. Okay, so also, guys, remember that we're going to be looking at AMC, and I've been getting a lot of requests regarding the CRTD ticker, but I would really like to actually look at that ticker right after we do NVOS. Okay, as I know that Jimmy Bauer was a person who asked for that just a couple days ago. I think I haven't even been able to get to it, right? So we'll go ahead and cover that as well. CRTD will be another one that we'll look at. Let's see, I just want to make sure that we have these notes written down. All good, all good. All right. So let's go ahead. Little AR-15. I will try my best, man. I do have a weird schedule coming in, right? So I'll go ahead and put it on here. And also, if you are part of the Discord, please make sure to list it on the early access. Okay, so then we could chill and make sure to catch it, right? So GNS is another one that we were looking at a few times last week, right? So the real Swang, what is up, man? Good to see you here. Very, very awesome for you to be here, okay? And now, Mark Roach, thank you for that, by the way. I actually didn't catalog any type of information for that one, so I'll go ahead and just note it just in case so that people can know, right? It was a very fast, super fast analysis on that one, but I just, I'm trying to respect the whole trade here, if you're catching my drift. All right, you guys, so let's go ahead and go over that list now. So we are going to be looking at ticker symbol DPLS. We have AMIH, we have VS, AMC, NVOS, we have CRTD, we have AMV, and let's see, did I already say, okay, so we have MVIS as well, and ATVI. Okay, I see FNGR here as well. And I do see Lucid, GME, CLNV. I'm going to urge for people to watch the video that I actually released for CLNV. Okay, you guys, make sure to do that. And then everything will be goody. All right, so, thank you, Mark. Really appreciate you, my dude. Really appreciate that so much. All right, you guys, so yeah, let's go ahead and start bringing on a serious note over here. That was for, you're talking about the time that I started. And Sean, the time that I started BTC, Sean, did someone say AMC? My dude, dude, that is so awesome of you, man. That really does bring huge smiles to me, man. You're ridiculous, man. That's such an amazing dono, man. Just literally putting down a funny face for me. And did someone say AMC? Dude, I feel like you and I would be friends in real life, man. That's something that I totally would do. I would totally do that myself, man. Oh my god. Oh, whoa. Hold on just a sec, guys. Let me just go ahead and make sure that this little mixer is doing okay. Just a quick sec. Things are looking good. All right, so let's go ahead and yeah, let's bring that serious note, the serious face, Steak Fishes. Everything will be all right. That is, you totally caught me on that one, Steak. Thank you so much, my battle. Really appreciate you. And yeah, so let's go ahead and just make sure that we can actually dim down the tunes. All right, and let's start off with our first. We are friends, bro. Sean, dude, man, I actually never, the only thing I see actually is just a very tiny little circle picture, right? And there is a hat, and there is a white dude, and glasses. That's what I see. So if we are friends, I am so sorry. I'm totally not seeing who the hell it really is. Sean, oh, thanks, dude. Really appreciate you, man. All jokes aside, it's really kind of you, dude. Really, really appreciate you. G Immortal, are you in both AMC and ABE? No, I am actually just in AMC for 15 months. Oh my goodness. Guys, I will never do that again. And that is why I learned how to trade. Okay, you guys, so let's go ahead and bring up that ticker DPLS and see what it's got for us. Okay, so I actually had to, yeah. You know what? Let's just go ahead and start it right now, right? DPLS actually has a macro, very, very large descending channel. Okay, you guys, so that descending channel, the reason why I'm mentioning it here is simply because it's going to take a lot for us to break. Go ahead and count those tests of the resistance. I'm literally talking about, look at this. 1, 2, and 3, followed by a huge capitulation. That's already following the golden rule of 3 very nicely. That means that it is following a certain set of rules. Huge fake out over here. Actually, I mean, take a look at this, okay? We actually started capitulating. Never actually came back to test that newly converted support into a resistance until just like months and months later. We just came back and bleep, and then continued onto the downside and just said, yeah, that's good. All right, let's continue. That's ridiculous. Oh my goodness. Huge shooting star candle. If that didn't scream downside, my goodness, I don't know what would, right, you guys? So yes, this thing is still suggesting actually a pretty good pump to the upside, of which I'm very, very excited about. And the reason why I'm saying this is because this type of shooting star candle printing on the 3-day iteration, that is a powerful, powerful type of candle. Okay, so it literally, that is the beginning. Let me just make the volume a little bit brighter so that you can see what I'm seeing, right? I have it very minimal like that because I hate it all over the price action. I don't need volume all the time, but just it's an indication of bull strength coming in. Please notice that this huge shooting star actually printed out a big amount of volume, of which it hasn't seen for some time, right? And then we started getting a huge pump on this 3-day. Okay, so this now is converting that SMA 10 into a form of support. Not only that, but now it has the SMA 10 and the newly converted resistance into now a support before continuing on to the upside. Good stuff here. Let's go ahead and load up our EMAs and see what it's got for us, okay? Let's see. All right, so now also the EMA 7 is a point of support as well. Very, very healthy for the DPLS asset, okay, you guys? So definitely know that this is very, very cheap right now, okay? We're talking 2 zeros and 6 7. Let's go ahead and look at that cap and the float and see what we're dealing with here. Likely very small ones here. Nice, look at that. Float, definitely not small. All right, so we have a 6.1 billion float. Huge float, right? And likely, I mean, this is probably why, right? This huge float is literally this. All right, so we also have a 41 spot, 3 million market cap on this. All right, so it's has it had any RSs in the past? I'm very curious. Actually, very good thing here regarding this ticker is that if you can look historically, it has never had an earnings miss, but it has also never had an earnings beat, right? So everything has been moving to expectations thus far, and for years apparently. Look at this. It's been trading since 1991. Interesting data here. So they are moving very balanced. It looks like they're not exactly, if there's news coming out, let's see. Dark Pulse and Global System Dynamics announced filing of registration statement on Form S4 in connection with proposed business combination. Okay, so this was 2 days ago. So very interesting. So we are moving on good news. And look at this right here. December 15th, Dark Pulse to list on NASDAQ with Global System Dynamics. Okay. So yeah, they are starting to make some pretty nice moves. Okay, so this is good. It's good. I like it. I like it. So now let's go ahead and reference the shorter term time frames and also with momentum. So we'll go ahead and reference the RSI. Okay, so let's see what it's got. Oh, my goodness. Sorry guys, let me just make this a little thicker for us to see that line right and continue on the analysis. So let's go reference a 30-minute immediate short term, just like we always do, and see what it's got for us. Okay, so it's a little bit of barcoding right now, some sideways trading in the immediate short term. We are, however, breaking above the 14-day simple moving average. You know what? I'm actually going to make this, a little bit brighter as well. And also, I am just going to screw what I'm working on right now and just save the default and continue on, okay? Because I'm sure that I'm going to have to load new instances of this, and this is actually frustrating me. So, all right, very important bounce here as we actually found the support from the EMA 30 right down here very, very nicely. So it is respecting its market. I'm sorry, it is respecting its moving averages, right? Nick, thank you. Thank you so kindly. By the way, Nick, I was actually going to ask you, and I still have your name written down here. You asked me for a ticker, and I think that was Tesla. I just wanted to make sure that that was the one that you were looking at. Is that correct? I'm keeping an eye on you and also on the charts, right? So let's go ahead and continue on to the buy hourly and see what it's got for us. But I really, really appreciate that donation, man. Thank you. Thank you. All right, so we are sitting in the bullish control zone here, particularly in the bull strength percentile. Okay, so if we're being very analytical here or very detailed, 63%, which is outside of the gravitational zone. Okay, so thanks, Nick. So just know for a fact that this is something that can encourage the upside, actually. And we're getting a hint from that 14-day simple. Let's move on. 6-hour time frame is suggesting any day now. There we go. It's suggesting an upside, okay? But please go ahead. Thank you, Nick. And please go ahead and mind your RSI signal here, as it looks like we've already faced that upside. We came back down to the gravitational pull. Then we're going back up. There could be some type of consolidation here, but it's also in respects to reacquiring the inside of this massive channel, right? So it would be like that. A hint from that 14-day moving average suggesting that upside, so very good. A little bit of consolidation here that's further backing our 6-hour thesis. Let's see the daily. The daily is also suggesting a little bit of consolidation as well. Let's just go up to the higher time frames. All right, it looks like it would be on the buy daily, the 3-day and the 5-day. Ooh, the weekly too. Okay, so this is going to be in consolidation for some days. I would say about maybe 3 to 5 days before it can actually start making some moves to the upside. Okay, you guys. So this is looking not bad whatsoever. I just think that we're a little early on this, and I think that maybe I mean, you never know with FOMO, right? And also with this thing building a bull flag. So if it does actually realize sooner than later, then it's going to be because of FOMO, not because of anything that the charts are suggesting. If anything, the charts are suggesting that it may actually move in a few days, and then it'll continue on that upside. So what and where can it go, right? So let's take a look at the daily here, and also, man, printing this enormous hammer candle here is a little dangerous. Okay, I'm saying dangerous because it is after an upside, but it's also at the downside. So it's kind of a catch here. So this is really weird. Okay, I'm not sure how I feel about this, but what I am noticing is that for a fact volume is diminishing here on the sell pressure. Okay, so the upside may be a little more favorable starting, like I said, in a couple days. So let's get some targets to the upside and see what it's got for us. Let's see. Okay, so we have this the moving average. This is the 50-day simple moving average, and it is located right at that 618. And also, please notice that the wick high of this candle iteration, which is at, you can see the wick high right up here on this H, and you can see that it's 2 zeros and 7.6, and it's landing very close to the one spot 272 at 2 zeros and 7.5. So we have some confluence there. Okay, so this is actually now wanting me to give you a range of resistance that we can face for the coming days. Okay, so this would be the target number 1 that we're looking at, right? So if we're going to continue on to the upside based on the suggestions that we're looking at from the bi-daily, the 3-day, the 4-day, I'm sorry, the 5-day, right? So in that, let's see. This would be in line with the 1-spot 618. In fact, the 1-spot 618 wick, if we did go up to that, it would actually probably wick right up to that 2 zeros and 8-3. But beyond that, I would actually be encouraged to look at these bottoms here, because they have confluence with this top here, with this bottom, and also with this bottom here, and this bottom, and these wick highs, which lands at the 2-spot 272, right in between the 2-spot 618. So right in here would be the second target. And I mean, it has to have correlation, right? It has to have correlation. In order for it to make sense, it just needs to have that correlation. I'm going to put it just above that 2-spot 618 to favor the binding of all of these candles here, right? So all of that is very important to kind of connect and understand the possibilities of price action, right? So this would be essentially the target that I'm looking at in a few days. And if I don't remember if we were actually looking at any downside, but if there is a downside for reaccumulation on this, it would be on that bi-hourly, slightly, right? So, or the 6-hour. Indra, good to see you. Oh my goodness. Okay, so the reaccumulation phase is a really interesting thing here. Okay, for the aggressive trader, you'll try to gain entry here, right? But the thing is that for the conservative trader, you would likely wait for a push to the upside, likely to that 1-spot 272, to where we can actually retrace and test our current range highs right here, and then continue on that upside, right, to the 1-spot 618 at 0080. So playing this is actually, like I said, it's just I would honestly have, it would have been better down here, right? But in this case, since we are kind of extended and just gathering ourselves in this newly converted resistance into support, then I would actually like for us to move to the upside and then come back down and validate it for real as a form of support before a continuation onto the upside. Because this, if it does continue on to the upside in the macro perspective, this is likely to continue on for weeks and weeks and weeks to eventually touch, it's going to break a zero and get into the 1 cent area. So that is essentially what I'm looking at for DPLS. Chat, go ahead and dive in and let me know what we're rating this. So D minus would be, 6.8 billion. Insane. So let's go ahead and rate this trade. So for the longs, right, you guys? So this is what I've been. So Cal L saying he is long since 2 zeros and 5-4 at this point. I would wait for the confirmation of Prince above the wedge bottom. Absolutely agreed. I think that it would be even if you ride it to about the 1-spot 272, gather your initial even 0054. Oh my goodness, man, you were way down here. That's awesome. That was a great entry. So if you're long this all the way down there, I would take my initial at that 1-spot 272 and literally regain entry right down here again to ride it, right? You can literally just ride the waves on this. But the entry is massive here. So, everybody has a different style of trading, right? Because this thing is actually suggesting a continuation to the upside. So honestly, it's a huge risk to kind of like hodl this, right? So, or hodl, or however you pronounce it. But still, it's still suggesting an upside continuation. Just know that for a fact, at any moment, somebody can dip 10 G's into this thing and it'll just rocket ship, right? So I'm honestly, I'm being very, I'm exaggerating, right? So I actually don't know the amount to really push this to the upside, but it wouldn't take a lot, right? So just know that this is still suggesting upside. And if you're not already in from this area down here, then I would strongly, wait or kind of see how it moves. Right. So now, guys, please let's go ahead and rate it once again. Stick Vicious giving me a D+ conservatively. So the D+ meaning that if you were to go in at this point, you would essentially come down and break even. Right. So D+ would be your break even play. And if you were down here, oh my goodness, you're way in the money. So Cal L, the play is actually in the merger finalizing. Oh my goodness. No wonder there is huge price action here, guys. If this Man, that presents a different type of that type of news that you're talking about, Cal, presents a whole different dynamic to this thing. When would it be finalized? Do we have a date by chance? And if there is a date, whew, man, this could for real rocket ship. But yeah, and I let's see, there's much more DD in this. Oh, okay, so there's a lot of DD in it. So Mark Roach saying D because OTC is not my thingy. Okay, very good, very good. It's good to rate it for yourself. Absolutely agreed, man. Very smart. So yeah, guys, in my personal opinion, I would personally wait for the comeback and actually validate this channel, right? Kal-El is saying they finalizing paperwork yesterday. Oh my goodness, man. Oof. It would make sense that it would do it down here too. It's literally, I mean, also the fact that it's just one huge falling wedge, you know, that's another factor that's kind of within it. So the upside in this is I mean, I don't want to say it like guaranteed, right? Because nothing's guaranteed in the markets, but the upside is pretty much imminent on this ticker. So DPLS can continue to the upside, but obviously huge risk on that massive float and tiny market cap, right? But you'll see that market cap likely go up as this goes up. This is gonna change the structure. It's a very interesting play, and I am pretty excited about it. Let me go ahead and actually load up volatility versus momentum represented by the enhanced MACD by the Cripstex ARC series indicators. Okay, so this is actually oh man, look at that, guys. Look at that. So the enhanced MACD has already printed that signal right at literally at Kel's entry. The low of, oh, you can see the low right over here. Okay, that would be let's see. The low, yeah, and the opening. 2 zeros and 5-1. Right at Cal's entry, this thing was firing off that signal to the upside and also suggesting a continuation to the upside and also making the upside from critical contraction, and now it's expanding. Okay, if you are interested in acquiring these indicators, please go ahead and reach out to me via DM or Twitter or anywhere like that, right? And we'll go over the subscription packages. But, you know, guys, it's just sometimes it's not the best thing to get these indicators because they make it a little bit easier than normal. So please consider working on your discretion first, right? Your raw charting analysis first before getting something like this, because you don't want to get used to algos doing the work for you, right? And learning the markets is a lot more important than acquiring the tools for the markets, okay? So let's go ahead and now end the analysis for DPLS with a rating of a solid C+ from me, okay? You guys, please remember, it doesn't have to be my rating. Please just take it into consideration, okay? I'm actually just going to go ahead and type it in 2 different places here, and because I have, you know, and oh guys, apologies. I actually just noticed that I just noticed that I didn't upload the timestamps from last night's stream. Oh my goodness, guys, I apologize about that. I will go ahead and make sure that they are in tonight with the ratings, right? So in this case, we are looking at a C+. And yeah, not bad. I actually do see the upside continuously on this, so this is good. Very interesting ticker here. And all right. Let's look at the next ticker, guys, and that is going to be, oh, right, I need to put the long rating here, and that's going to be a C+. Good deal. All right, we're going to look at ticker symbol AMIH followed by VS. Let's see. Where is it? There it is. All right, so AMIH following a broadening descending wedge. Let's block out that moving averages and see what we got here. Okay, so let's see. It looks like we could be looking at this in a higher term time frame, and yes, I actually do see it. There we go. Here's the touch of the resistance here, and it looks like we've had this is test number 1. I am not I see it. Sorry, I just get a little meticulous with these things, right? I just want to make sure that we are suggesting the absolute top of this, right? So it would be more like this, right? There we go. Perfect. Okay, so we do have a test 1. Looks like we have a test 2. We have a 3, 4, 5, 6. Man, okay. Actually, let me see this on the 3-day. those are a little weird to consider. Let me just make sure that we do have those. 1, 2, 3, 4, yeah, 5, 6, man. Nonetheless, it could be still being looked at in the smaller term time frames, like a daily. Okay, yeah, so yeah, guys, just when you're starting to, this is a little risky here, and I'm saying this because when you start to look at the price action going into the number 6 test of the resistance, it starts to get a little weird. It starts to get a little weird and a little risky here. The awesome part for this is that it has been holding the support. So it's in that validation process. Okay, so I am noticing that the sell pressure is actually minimizing, with the volume. So let me just make it a little brighter. Again, we're not always going to do this, right? It's only when it's relevant or pertinent to the subject that we're talking about, right? Please notice that the volume is actually minimizing here in the bears. I understand that we have a little bit of a lower one here, but I am focusing on the bigger jumps, right? So in this case, we are diminishing in that bear strength on the daily too. So let's see, this was a 49 million in volume, and this was 30 million in volume. This one down here was about 23. Okay, all right. So now let me go ahead and just reference some SMAs on this. Okay, very important on the daily that we have converted that SMA 10 into a support, which would essentially help us and guide us towards that way up, as I'm sure that this ticker has actually used that SMA 10 as a guide to the upside before. And I'm talking about like not in a bear market, right? Oh my goodness, this thing has, oh right, it's only been, my goodness, 1996 this thing has been trading. Very interesting, and it hasn't actually seen so much upside. This could be a short-term play, guys. I mean, not only that, the fact that it's also valued at 2 zeros and 9-1. Let's look at that float. It's making me curious too. So let's see. So we have a float at about 12.19 and a very tiny 116,000 market cap. Okay, super tiny. So this is high risk. But does it have any upside? Does it? Let's go ahead and refer to, I already loaded it once, right? But this is the iteration we want because it's brighter. Okay, just like always, let's go ahead and refer to the 30-minute time frame and see what it's got. So already making an upside cross of that 14-day simple, very good. It looks healthy in the immediate short term. All right, another thing here actually that I'm looking at is that it's actually building, this is like I think Crown calls it a falling pizza, all right? So this is actually making a falling wedge. So it could actually be like this, right? So it is a bullish formation in the shorter term time frame. So this is still looking pretty good. I throw out the cheap small money plays. Leroy Jenkins, good to see you here. All right, so let's go ahead and continue on. Okay, so we have an upside suggestion on this. Keith, what is up, dude? Sorry I couldn't make it to that space call. I had to cook for my daughter for the first time in a long time, right? I really wanted to make it too. He had a bunch of people there, dude. It looked like it was above 200, right? So yeah, guys, we're looking at a support touch from that SMA 14 and suggesting a continuation to that upside. 6-hour time frame is also suggesting that upside. Please notice that the SMA 14 is actually suggesting a little bit of a downside continuation here. Which could present a little bit of resistance, which is likely to be actually upon the succession of this falling wedge. It's funny that I got to tell you like that, right? But it would likely be at around let's see, 0.0125. So 1 cent, 0.0125 could be a very likely area to find some resistance. Let's go ahead and move on to the 12-hour and continue here. Okay, so the 12-hour is suggesting that upside. We've already used this 14-day simple moving average as a continuation and a support. The daily is suggesting the same. Bi-daily is suggesting an upside continuation outside of the gravitational zone. So this is good. All right. And the 3-day is suggesting a little consolidation. So we do have limited upside on this, but it's just the information is very flat. It looks like it's been trading sideways, right? This is not that good, right? So that's a reason why we're actually having this thing flash some longer term like this, some longer term sideways trading, right? So let's go ahead and go back to the daily and the 12-hour, as this could be, like I said, a shorter term play. it looks like it still needs more validation. Okay, so if we're gonna make the upside continuation, let's refer to a smaller time frame like the 4-hour and just gauge the the supposed area of breakout. So let's just say that we were to break out here on you know, tomorrow, towards the end of the day, right around the 70%, or I'm sorry, around the 65% of to the apex of the triangle, we can actually see two potential targets. Okay, this is going to be the first one, three potential targets. Sorry. So one way of looking at this is from the breakout point. You take that trend line from the top to the bottom, and then you apply it to the breakout area, right? That would take you to the highs of about 0105. All right. The second area would be taking it from the middle of the triangle. This is another way that you can actually measure it. Not the most popular, but it is a way, and a lot of people do trade it like that. Okay. So let me just go ahead and align it to this line here. And this one is suggesting the 0118, very close to that 0125 that I was telling you about, right? So now the other one would be the most popular one. It would be like this. So you take the trend line from the highest point of the triangle to the lowest point, and then you apply it to that area of breakout. Let me just align it here. And now this one is suggesting 0144. Okay, so there are a few targets that we can look at, and some of which are a little more relevant than others, right? So yeah, so let's just go ahead and make sure that we do have some fibs alongside those targets. I'll go ahead and take, let's see, just a current range, actually a current range high to the range low. Okay, so let's see. The first target is actually landing right in between the 1.272 and the 1.618. That's already good. And the second one is landing just shy of that 2.272. And the third one is landing just shy of the 3.272. So all of these targets are geometrically capable. Okay, so these are all possibilities. So in this case, I'm not going to draw a range because there is a lot to kind of talk about here, right? So we're going to just go ahead and make the ranges like this via trend line. Okay, so in this case, let's go ahead and make this one 2. And these would essentially be the short-term take profits. Okay, so if we're looking at a macro hold here and you're just wanting to see where this goes in the longer-term time frame, which I don't suggest, by the way, as not a financial advisor, this can actually take you to about 20 cents. But like I said, it's per the playbook rules how you trade this formation, right? So this would essentially be the area where you take profit. But again, I'm not sure that the longer term time frame is suggesting that as well. We do need to validate these areas of support, and then we have a huge trek to the upside. Please notice on the daily, actually, that topside target is landing pretty much where we have that that take profit. And actually, this one is landing more on that discretionary side that I gave you. This is actually at 0134 versus the 0125 that I gave you. And the 0125 is actually right in between the 2.272 and the 3.618 as well. So that could also be an area of resistance, right? So I would play it shorter here. I would not hodl this whatsoever. So chat, let's go ahead and dive in and rate the trade for this one. And yeah, remember, D- is your max loss, D+ is your break even. Okay, you guys, if you see high risk, that would be in the C's. If you see validations in play, if you see some good criteria being met, conditions being set, you're looking at the B's, right? And now when the moon and the stars align, and you know the fundamentals and everything lines up, those are your A's. And if you're an insider trader, A+. I'm just kidding. But what is it going to be? What is it going to be, chat? Let's go ahead and dive in and rate the trade. Oh my goodness. You know what? Live Ticker Picker is actually going to be called Rate the Trade from now on. And then you're going to see all the influencers start to follow the example, right? So, I mean, honestly, guys, I'm going to be super honest about this trade. And I think I'm going to give this a C-. Like Indra H coming in with a C-, just like your boy Arca. I absolutely agree with you. And I think that this is definitely going to be the one, right? So long rating of a C- on this one. And remember, it's because of that. It's because of the tiny valuation in this. And and also because the momentum isn't suggesting any type of explosive moves thus far. Mark Roach giving it a C. Indra H, I'm sorry. That is just a jinx. Okay, jinx. Do you know what jinx is, by the way? I don't know if that's like if that's like a worldwide thing, or if that's just here in the States. Or am I weird for thinking that, by the way? Oh my goodness, guys. You can just see how much I stay inside, right? So, let's go ahead and now finish off the analysis here for ticker symbol AMIH. Very good deal, guys. I'm happy that we can be as honest as we could be, right? So C- on this one. I definitely see that risk. So we want to, not play the ones that where you're not more, just sure about. In fact, the broader market plays may be the better ones right now because the downside is a little more clear than it is for the upside, right? So that can really present some pretty nice opportunities. Yeah, got a little sip of water there and everything is good. All right, guys, so let's go ahead and move on to the next ticker, and that is going to be ticker symbol VS. All right, so this one, remember, guys, I'm sorry, what I was going to say is that remember that I'm actually talking about a back test on this, and I'm going to be running over tonight, and that is I'm just going to remind everybody about that. I didn't write that that rating on the other one was a C-, right? Okay, good. So I'm just going to make sure to have that jotted down so that I can not miss the damn timestamps for tomorrow or for today, right? So Stick Vicious VS, popcorn ready, the beers are out. Recording. Where's T Wood? Yeah, that's right. Where's T Wood? T Wood was the one that was actually asking me about this in the remember, guys, it's also super late in the East Coast. Stig, so I wouldn't doubt if he's already resting, right? So no problem there. Yeah, so a ticker symbol VS is something that I was looking at for a potential back test, and the reason why I'm kind of excited about this is first of all, please notice that the sell pressure is just literally falling and falling. It's actually coming down to a huge minimum now, and I actually can't see the damn green candle here. I'm sorry, the green volume bar because of this this news here. Top midday decliners, right? So that's usually, man, right when these types of things start coming up is right when the explosive moves to the upside happen, right? So let's go ahead and reference volatility versus momentum. I want to actually take a look at this on the daily. And in fact, you know what? Let's also see this. So VS, look at the last 1 minute of what? No way. Let me see. 1 minute. I usually don't look at those tiny time frames. So let me see. So, wow, what? Yeah, crazy volume coming in on that one, right? Yeah, TradingView needs to get rid of the symbol blocking volume. I really hate that, and I wonder if that's actually show latest news. All right, there it is. So it's right click and then undo that thing, right? So that's literally how to do it. So I'm gonna go ahead and leave it there because I don't know how to bring it back. So other than with Command Z. So yeah, this very interesting, huge little volume pump here at the end of the day. I'm sure it looks different on Webull desktop or something else, right? But even from TradingView, we can see that some pump to the upside came in. Very cool. So let me go ahead and go back to the daily and I'll just talk about, dude, no way. Yes, I am so stoked for you, Cal. I had no idea. I've never seen that, by the way. It was just very, very lucky of me. And I'm curious to see if, yeah, look, check it out. So show earnings, show splits, show dividends. We can actually undo them. That's very interesting. Yee doggy. All right, frack face. So let's go ahead and do this. All right. So what I'm referencing here is volatility versus momentum. Remember, volatility is direction neutral, and we pair it with stochastic momentum to gauge that bias for direction. Okay, so alongside having the conditions of both the K average and the D average, meaning K% and D%, or AKA 14-day simple moving average and 3-day exponential moving average, frack, right? So this paired to the upside with a contraction phase of volatility can present a massive move to the upside. Okay, so Let's go ahead and just get this a little bit smaller and just look at some iterations together, right? So let's look at this here. So VS has a 1.5 million float. It is very, very tiny. Absolutely agreed. Okay, so let's see sometimes. Okay, so for example here, we started the contraction phase, and then price action made this huge pump to the upside, right? So that would be one of the areas that I would be looking for, you know, for the back test, right? So here's another one. We actually came, I mean, it was just capitulating. We touched that critical volatility zone, of which, by the way, we've been gathering for some time, not even like this one. The price action corrected and made a massive move to the upside here as well. Okay, so this is literally why I was telling you guys that I wanted to test this, right? So because there is the potential for something. Look at this. This one is very similar. This volatility run here is very similar to the one that we have right now. And also, this one was actually even higher on the stochastics. And look at where we are on the stochastics. So this one made a huge pump to the upside as well. I'm curious to see just how big of those pumps they were, right? So let's go ahead and take a measurement here and just see. So that's 105% move to the upside. This one over here is about, let's see. This one over here is about a 50% move to the upside. Sorry, it just came a little bit short there, right? Here we go. Yeah, about a 50% move to the upside. This one here is, let's see. This one here is a 65% move to the upside. So yeah, there's a lot of, I mean, there's a lot of room for some upside. Check this one out. We were at critical volatility, printing, right? And then we made that contraction phase start, and then price action went literally berserko over here. So it actually went very high up, and I'm curious to see that iteration now. So starting actually from, let's see, from right about here, which would be there. If you would have caught this one early, that would have been great. Otherwise, catching it at the signal would have given you a return of about 26%. Still very, very considerable nonetheless. Yeah, so there are a few situations. Oh, man, look at this one here. That started, yeah, this would actually bring up the odds very nicely here. So this one actually moved an upside at literally when it started to contract, right in here. We're looking at right around here. You're looking at a top. That was 139% move to the upside. Very cool stuff. All right, so this is why I'm actually bringing a lot of attention into ticker symbol VS, is because of that. The reason that we're already in critical volatility, starting that contraction, it looks like we're already piercing through that critical volatility zone, which is 90% or anything within the 90 percentile, right? And we look at the stochastics, okay? Stochastics are already losing that bear strength. Let's just go ahead and continue on the analysis here, okay? Because this can actually present some pretty nice moves to the upside, of which I'm sure is going to be able to have some people, collect their longs, because this thing totally faked out a lot of people here, and that's actually very sad. This thing, I hate it, right? So let's go ahead and now refer to momentum via the RSI, okay? So let's see what it's got for us. Starting off with the 30-minute immediate short term, a little bit of consolidation here. Actually, let me move this to the top. There we go. And there we go. So this is suggesting a little bit of consolidation, and it's very much in respect to, the literal last couple hours here of the day. And I mean, also the whole day was really just like flash wick down, right? We have an upside here, so it's sideways, right? So let's go ahead and now look at the bi-hourly and gauge a better reference here. So the bi-hourly is suggesting a limited downside, because we have that 14-day simple moving average right below us, right? So also notice the stochastic momentum here in the bi-hourly. It's suggesting an upside. So this is likely to find that support and then continue on. Another thing is that on the bi-hourly, we have not been upside the 14-day simple moving average since February 8th. Since February 8th. And now it looks like we finally broke through it February 16th. Okay, so this is very bullish. The fact that we're very close to the gravitational zone here and the 14-day simple could very well serve as a support before a continuation. Hold on. Let's see the 6 hour. The 6-hour is suggesting a continuation to the upside. It looks to be limited. If I were to pair this, if I were to pair the distance from the RSI signal to the 14-day simple, then very likely we can actually touch 78 cents tomorrow. Aside from the fact that we already printed a little tiny gap here, which could essentially serve as a point of resistance as well. We would need to get through that first, right? So this, and it's likely this is the resistance that we touched today, right at that gap, and then we reversed, right? I'm actually not going to be surprised that the the EMA 7 is located there. Let me load that up real quick and see. There it is. So literally just like I said. So the EMA 7 served as that resistance, just like that gap is, right? So yeah, in reference to this space here, it could be to the resistance top again, or to the higher end of the resistance top of this gap, which would essentially be at about 77.04. Let's go ahead and continue. Let's look at the 12-hour here. So the 12-hour looks to be in consolidation. It doesn't have much danger to the downside, and in fact the 12-hour is starting. There we go, man. This is another sign. The 12-hour is now starting to pivot towards the upside on momentum, and we started that cross. Right now we're starting to expand yet again. So this looks like it's prepping for something. And it looks like it's prepping for an upside move, to be very honest with you. And again, we were riding this ascending channel. And not only that, we literally touched the very bottom of this channel before a continuation to the upside. So, that's looking not bad. The daily time frame RSI suggesting sideways trading. Let's see. And the buy daily, very curious here, super close to critical volatility and already curving. Okay, this may have found the floor ish, right? I think the floor is in for this ticker. Okay, and the 3-day in critical volatility here, still suggesting, okay, I see. All right, the pivot from the 14-day here, and also this pivot is actually changing the direction. You guys, the VS looks like it's actually prepping for something, and if it does have a downside continuation, it actually can't be seen by the technicals. It can actually be seen by stochastics, but if we're going to suggest a downside continuation here, then that would be in respects to maybe the very short term, and not even that, because as soon as you start touching that the 6-hour, you're starting to get that upside suggestion. So 6-hour, let's see, the 8-hour consolidation, upside in the 12-hour, and consolidation on the daily. And this is important on the buy daily here, because we are finding that support from the 14-day, and we've been upside of this 14-day simple since January 5th. Okay, so this is very important here, because the support that we're finding is, take a look at it, right at the gravitational zone of the bull strength percentile and the 14-day simple moving average. Two forms of support before a continuation to the upside. So this is very promising on the buy daily. Okay, so I think another couple days, maybe into Tuesday. Remember, guys, that the markets are going to be closed on Monday. Okay, so yes, Sebastian Lim, VS 12-hour BBWP stochastic momentum looks ready. That is exactly what I am talking about. And also the buy daily is already prepping it too. So now that we're starting to get all these preparations from multiple time frames, this is very curious. It's very curious. So let's see the daily. Man, the daily is the daily and the 12-hour. Those are insane. Okay, so this is prepping for something, you guys, and I'm going to go ahead and run a back test on this. Mark my words, I will definitely run it tonight, and I will get back to us, because we would essentially be catching this at the floor for a freaking move that may be taking us all the way to probably 162 at the obvious targets, right? So, I mean, the first area to try to combat would naturally be at 94 cents. So the 52-week high in VS is $33. Oh my goodness. So guys, there's some weird stuff happening here, and I don't think anybody's gonna see it until, I don't think anybody's gonna see it before us. This is very curious. It's prepping in multiple time frames for an upside. and I think I want to be a part of it. I'm not gonna lie. And we're sitting right now at 71 cents, right? What is the after hours? 72.41. Ooh, man, this can gauge some serious upside. Okay. So yeah, guys, let's go ahead and the VS all-time high. Okay, the week high. Sorry, the 52-week high was 33, and the all-time high is 223. Oh my goodness. Okay, so there's obviously some huge thrust to keep in mind here. February 1st with huge volume here, and then it actually capitulated, faked out some people, and then it came back down, right? But I must keep in mind here that this is still building a series of higher lows, right? So this is still in that structure. I don't like the fact that it actually made a slightly lower high here, but in essence, we're still making a gradual growth here. So it did. I definitely think that it needed to reaccumulate here before a continuation onto the upside. Let's see what. Look at Enhanced MACD. It looks like it's already starting to curve too. So this curve is what I'm talking about in expansion, right? It's looking like it's losing a little bit of that bear strength already. Let's go to the daily and see if it has anything for us. Sorry, the shorter term time frames. Here you go. Look, as we start to diminish the time frames, you can start to see that curvature coming in. Okay, so that type of thing is literally what we're looking for. There could be a slight more downside, potentially 69, 68 cents, right? Before a continuation onto the upside. Look at this. 4 hour is showing even deeper that the correction is on its way. Let's go to the hourly. Okay, the hourly is giving us the bull signal. And let's see. It was from full contraction and now expanding too. Let's see the buy hourly. Buy hourly also full contraction here and bull signal upon expansion. So bull signal on that as well. 4 hour is literally pivoted now, and I wouldn't be surprised if this printed the bull signal tomorrow. So this is very, very interesting that it would do that. Okay, you guys, please notice how it's been moving, by the way. Okay, so you have the upside bull signal here. It actually moved up, right? It caught you at the bear signal up here, then it's sold off, right? You got a little short-term upside right here, and then it gave you the bear signal, and then now you're all the way down here. I wouldn't be surprised if it printed it down here with a bull signal just like it did here, and then this thing just rocket ships, right? So I volatility versus momentum is a very powerful metric, and I think that we shouldn't take it lightly. So Enhanced MACD is giving us that suggestion as well. The 4 hour Stokes are just freaking, moonshining here. So this is crazy stuff, guys. I'm not gonna lie. VS is looking pretty juicy, and I think it may be a play that we can get in on in the next day or two. So we'll check back on this for sure. I'm gonna run that back test tonight, guys. I'm curious and I'm very excited over this because there is a statistical upside that is gonna be unmatched right now. Very good thing here. All right, so let's go ahead and end ticker symbol VS now. But guys, first let's rate the trade. Let's go ahead and rate the trade. I'm having way too much fun with that thing. All right, so what are we going to rate it, guys? Remember that it is you're looking at D- as a max loss. D+ is going to be your break even. Okay, you guys. So what are we rating the trade here, you guys? Remember, this is it is a high risk play here, but I honestly think that my battle, of course, my dude, you got it, my dude. You got it. I'm not done, by the way. I'm not talking about in the live session. I'm talking about tonight. I am not done with VS. So Mark Roach giving it a B+. Sebastian Lim with a B-. My goodness, huge sentiment. Good, guys. All right, what up? I mean, I'm not gonna lie, man. This is you know that I don't like the tiny valuations, right? So I have to buy rate this though. I hate it when I have to do this, but I have to. Look at this. Stickfish is giving it an A+. Hope, of course, not from me. No hopium, right? So in my case, I mean, personally, guys, this is I want to run the back test, but this is a solid C+, B- for me, because this, man, this could be prepping for quite the interesting run. Look at that, Indra H, jinx again, baby girl. We're looking at that B-. Oh my goodness. So that is B- for sure for me, and a buy rating of C+, right? So I honestly think this has some juice. and it also has, obviously, it has sentiment and psychology behind it. So if we're able to pair those two together, my goodness, we could be ready for something. Notice the bearish activity here, and now start to notice the candles coming in. It's changing, man. This is literally changing before our eyes, which is why I'm saying that potential sideways trading here before it just goes bleep. All right, so things are looking good for ticker symbol VS. So Stephen Jermaine, homie, your SPY analysis is amazingly helpful and would be great to start with a daily maybe if you feel it's possible. Actually, I'm not opposed to that. That is actually something that could be in line for the streams. Starting off with the broader markets and then following on with the analysis does not sound like a bad idea whatsoever. Stephen, thank you so much for that, my dude. Really appreciate that. Sebastian Lim saying juicy. Absolutely, man. I definitely think that the juice is actually starting to pour right here as we potentially have found that floor with today's candle. And I think from here, you hear that delay still going? Oh my goodness, the echo. Oh, goodness gracious. So yeah, guys, I'm looking at potential drop to I mean, literally range trading here, 69 cents to about 74 cents before we absolutely set the conditions and the criteria for that upside, for the statistical upside. This is crazy stuff, guys, and I definitely think that we're going to run that back test maybe on 2 time frames. I think that we're maybe going to have to run it on the daily and the 12-hour because it's they both look ripe and they both look primed. All right, so yes, guys, good stuff. Thank you so much, my battle, for talking for asking, and T Wood, of course, for requesting the ticker symbol VS, as there is an opportunity incoming here, you guys. Awesome stuff. So let's go ahead and now move on to the next ticker, you guys. And I want, actually, you know what? I want to make sure that I write down that the rating for this one so that I do not forget. And if I say it enough times, I won't forget, right? To put up the timestamps or the ratings and stuff on the description below after the live stream has been completed. So this was a very rare and very much not liked buy rating, right? So C+ to B-, and that actually may change my mind entirely upon this back test tonight. Thanks, battle. Gonna run and hang with the boss. See you at the bell. Catch you at the bell, my dude. Be safe, be well, say hi to the family, and get some food, get some grub, get some rest. See you, bud. And so Mark Roach saying, just when you do your voice machine, absolutely, man. That thing actually is still repeating and repeating and repeating. I still hear it back there. You guys hear it? You hear the echoes back there? It's like minimizing little by little. Cal L saying, how many FOMO pre-orders in for VS you guys put in the last 5 minutes? Oh my goodness, right? Because all of this is happening. It's just, this was just Beso Amy's Reddit YOLO, let's go. Where you at, Beso Amy? All right, so let's go ahead and move on, guys. We're going to look at ticker symbol AMC. All right, it is the crazy AMC ticker we all know and somehow love so much. Very interesting price action on AMC. I'm talking, guys, the overall markets, the broader markets were bleeding today. Okay, so, and for this to face the upside that it did, right, and still being able to print, actually, you know what happened? Where did it close? Oh, no way. Nice. It closed at 529. Damn. My goodness, man. Very crazy stuff. Lonnie Lake, what is up, man? Nah, with Beso Amy saying, oh, hey, I was actually referencing your Reddit YOLO Let's Goes on ticker symbol VS at the last minute before close right here. This was all Reddit YOLOs of yours. Indra H saying, yes, please FOMO into VS. I am already in. No way. That's awesome. Guys, let's get it. Oh my goodness. I honestly see some upside coming in, and I'm going to be so stoked when I run this back test, of which, by the way, I'm going to go ahead and share on the Discord. Okay, you guys, so make sure to join up, and we'll go ahead and share this one and make some awesome plays. This was the incorrect rating, right? So now it's the C+ B- buy rating, of which may actually change upon that back test. Yeah, so let's see. So regarding AMC, Okay, regarding AMC, we want to notice I mean, the price action that still was pushing and pushing and pushing upon the bleeding of the broader markets. We were just, I mean, look at the SPY, right? Just ridiculous right here, and it was just ongoing. But then AMC's over here just lollygagging to the upside. Incredible price action from AMC, and the bulls appear to still be in. My goodness. Yes, absolutely. Absolutely, Mark Roach with the ape in the chat. Also apes. All right, so let's go ahead and now take a look at what I looked at on the video, what I referenced already in the video that I put out today, okay? The dedicated video for AMC. Judging upon raw price action, this is looking okay. The fact that we didn't print a long wick to the upside here gives me absolute goodies in my head. Okay, so that's not something that we want to see. We don't want to see starting to print long wicks, because when we start to see that like this and like this, you know, we start to, you know, then we can make a long move. I'm sorry, then we can make a short move. Sorry. So yeah, let's go ahead and reference the next chart and see what we have here. Okay, you guys. So please go ahead and notice the volatility versus momentum represented by the enhanced MACD Cryptex ARC series, right? We still have that bull signal printed, which, by the way, it actually gave us that signal print, $4.92, and it's still being favored. Okay, so we still have that upside continuation. We were in contraction here, and now it started expanding and still suggesting the upside. Okay, $1 million tomorrow for Mark Roach. Oh man, you know AMC is always $1 million, right? All right, so this is very curious because it is still suggesting the upside. Okay, I like it. I like it. That's all. That's also something that we must keep in mind. Okay, if we're gonna reference volatility versus momentum on the 8-hour, this is where things are starting to get ridiculous. Okay, so. I did, you know what, the back test was actually for a daily, so I haven't done the 8-hour back test, so now I'm very curious to do it because it could be in order right now. It's literally in action. So oh man, this is very juicy when we're starting to contract from critical expansion here and momentum favoring the upside with both the averages in this form, literally facing this oval. That usually leads to a pretty substantial move to the upside, of which some of those iterations have already been plus 100% moves. Okay, so let's go ahead and continue on the analysis here. We're going to reference the RSI. Okay, so 30-minute immediate short term already making a cross above that 14-day simple moving average and suggesting massive upside right away. Okay, you guys, so. David Parr, AMC jumps a buck, sell premium. My goodness. So now please notice that the bi-hourly iteration here is actually bouncing right off of that 14-day simple moving average, suggesting that upside continuation even still. Okay, very cool there. And let's see the 6-hour. So the 6-hour is also suggesting some upside, but in this case, we need to watch out with this one because this is within the gravitational zone of the bull weakness percentile. So this would essentially give us some sideways trading, right? So if we're gonna bias it's okay. It's not a problem. We need to validate wherever we are first before we can continue on to the upside. I get it. The last thing we want, believe it or not, the last thing we want is for this thing to just, you know, just move to the upside like really fast, like really super violently, where no one is gonna take their damn profits. And then just capitulate all the way to the bottom. So we don't want that. The slow growth is great because that way we can guarantee the upside, right? So if we get these huge FOMO pumps to the upside, you're literally just without a doubt, you're not going to be able to even catch your exit. You'll likely see your account go plus $100 million and then minus $400,000, right? So you don't want that. So we definitely want the slow growth and then continuation onto the upside. I did mention in the video that it was of incredible importance for us not to print the bearish divergence. I'm sorry, the bearish engulfing candle formation here, and it looks like we definitely didn't. Okay, so we were moving down here when I was making the video. And I was expressing the danger of printing a bearish engulfing candle like this one here, which would essentially pressure the price to the downside. As you can see, we didn't print it, and the bulls actually are still leading that way. So let's go back to that, to the RSI and reference the 12-hour. Please notice that the 12-hour is slightly bullish, slightly bearish. Okay, we have that sideways trading here, consolidation, and also a little bit of consolidation here on the daily as well. Like I said, it's a good thing, guys. We just want to make sure that we validate the areas of support before we continue on to the upside. But remember, volatility versus momentum is suggesting highly otherwise. Okay, this is actually suggesting massive upside on that 8-hour. Okay, this is huge. All right, that this oval thing that happens here is very powerful. Okay, so and I've actually measured so many tickers with this. This is how we were able to see the upside for GTII. Literally, this is how. Okay, so let's go ahead and now move on to, let's see, yeah, when things start to get juicy, I think it's really, let's see the 3-day, just in case, right? If it decides to ever load, right? So 3-day looking very nice. Okay, so it starts off on the buy daily. Look at this. All right. So the buy daily is about to make a cross. It's already pressuring up. By the way, it's already pressuring that 14-day simple moving average to the upside, okay? So we're literally entering that gravitational zone of the bear weakness percentile, okay? As soon as we enter that, we're definitely breaking through this 14-day simple, because we're going to get that gravity pull. And then we're going to have two supports below us. We're going to have the gravitational zone of this zone here, the percentile of the bear weakness, right? And also that 14-day simple. So if we do retrace, it'll be likely to confirm or validate that support, and then we would continue on to that upside. So this is looking mighty, mighty juicy. So now the 3-day, please notice, huge support from that 14-day simple, suggesting an upside continuation, and the 5-day as well. Huge support bounce from that 14-day simple, upside continuation. The weekly has an upside continuation also with that bounce from the 14-day. And now the weekly is in preparation to actually make a cross here from that 14-day simple. Okay, so this is looking explosive. Okay, so there's things happening in the background over here. There's a bunch of little dudes back there hammering away, and they're about to push that price action all the way to the upside. Nick already giving this a B+. So guys, let's go ahead and rate the trade here. If we were talking about any type of downside, literally nothing is suggesting it. It's just everything is suggesting sideways and up. So that's all, obviously we want to see that, right? So reaccumulation phase may have happened today. Okay, so what are we rating the trade, guys? Remember that AMC, yes, lots of psychological components applied, but the valuation is incredible on this. You're looking at a 3.4 billion market cap, right? And is it really? No way. Let me go ahead and just make that a little smaller. And yeah, the market cap is 3.4 billion. And look at this. You're looking at 514 million float. Of course, we know that there is manipulation behind that, but I'm just saying, okay? So this is a pretty cool one to trade, nonetheless. I mean, it's valuated a little high, not where we want it to be, of course, as longs, but I'm just saying that it's a little pricey for us to get into this and just make massive amounts of money without spending a cool dime, right? But, oh, Newfie, thank you so much for your donation. That really means a lot. Thanks, Arca. You and family are the best. Number one, I can't even believe I should be donating to you. I should be sending you food. I should be calling the hospitals and telling them, make sure to take care of Newfie. Okay, so, all right. So thank you so much for that dono. I can't express to you how thankful I am and how thankful my family is too. All right, so back to the rating, guys. Let's rate it. Remember, D- is your max loss, and D+ is your break even. Okay, so where are we going with AMC for the longs? We already have Sebastian Lim giving it a B-, Mark Roach giving it a C, AMC giving it an A+++ from Leo. Leo, thank you so much for your dono. Wow, dude. Really appreciate that, my dude. Please, I know you always support me, man. If there's anything I can do for you, please let me know, okay? Now, like at this point, man, I feel like I should be sending you charts every day. You're so kind, Leo. Thank you so much, my bro. But seriously speaking, okay, if ever you need anything, please notify me here on the comments, whatever. But also let me know in a DM or on, you can find my email here on the about section of the YouTube profile under business inquiries, right? You can also send me a DM on Twitter or on Discord, whatever you need. Okay, please let me know. Michael giving it an A. Michael with a grade A. Okay, you guys. So this obviously has a lot of sentiment, and the upside is not only psychologically backed, it's actually going to be statistically backed. So in this type of trade, okay, it gets a little interesting when I start grading things like this, okay? Because in my personal opinion, upon a back test, likely the back test is going to show some massive results. It's literally going to show huge upside because we've already expressed massive upside to this. So Indra H giving it a B. And guys, so let me just I'm going to be very honest with I'm pissed at AMC, okay? First of all, I'm really mad at them. I'm really mad at the way that they handled the whole thing, but also I know that things happen in the background that we all don't know about, right? So in this case, I'm going to go ahead and no, not yet. It's definitely not in the A's, okay? Because this, so what price do you think would be best to get in on? We'll go over that. So, in my personal opinion, this is looking like a solid B, okay? So in B, it's already hard for me to pull out, okay? Not even a B minus. I'm talking about a solid B. So we all are Arca, absolutely. We are all Arca. Hit the herp and derp. Oh my goodness. Okay, so yes, guys, I'm giving this a solid B, and the reason why is it's not in the A's is because of the psychological component. So there is a lot of psychology behind this. There's a lot of sentiment behind this, which can Indra H jinx again. I love it. I love that you and I think alike so much. All right, so I'm giving it a B because I honestly think that this has a statistical upside as well as a technical upside, as well as a psychological upside. Okay, so because of the psychological upside is the other reason why I didn't give it an A, because the psychological component is unmeasurable. Okay, that's we don't know when somebody is just gonna decide to sell off their $4 million position on this, you know, so we don't know that. So that's why we have to be very, we have to express some discretion here. And David Parr, thank you, my brother. Thank you so much for that. I really appreciate you. And you too, man. You always support me, man. If there's anything I can do, please let me know. It doesn't have to be here in the chat. It can if you want to, right? But it doesn't have to be here. It can be expressed in DM, because a lot of people do, right? So a lot of people express to me like their concerns over their positions and stuff, and I try to be as understanding as I can be and as transparent as I can be as well, right, you guys? So Leo saying, I have 300 calls for 550, so just need a good push up, not a greedy push. Okay, so you have 300 long calls, right? And you are at a strike of 550. So you're slightly out of the money. You're not even outside of the money that much. You're close to at the money. You may experience over the next few days a gamma. Okay, so meaning that if you start jumping close or in the money, those long calls, you're potentially going to start to see your implied volatility pump. So which is called in options, that's called an IV pump. Okay, so and also your gamma is then gonna kick in, and you're gonna start gaining gamma plus delta. So if you start gaining gamma and delta plus your IV pump, your calls are gonna start to really skyrocket. Okay, so in that event, know that there are certain things that you can do to kind of scale out. I wouldn't diamond hand every single call all the way to the whatever target that we're going to. I would suggest that you pull some of those calls on the way up, right? Because that's a way that you can secure your gains. And then we ride the wave again. Who cares? It doesn't matter. Most people don't even exercise their calls anyway. But it's obviously up to you. I'm just expressing my opinion to you as a friend, right? As as an entertainer. And David Parr saying no strings, bro. You are too kind, my dude. And Leo, all right, so you have a March 3rd expiration. You're still a couple weeks out. I would never marry that expiration, okay? Because a lot of those times, some of those calls end up being end up expiring worthless, right? So who cares about that expiration date? However, and what's your theta? Do you by chance know what your theta is? That's something that you should keep in mind, because your theta on the Greeks for your options in particular is how much you're losing per day of holding your options. Okay, so theta in options, again, theta in options means how much you are losing per day of holding your options contract. So that means that whatever the theta is going to be times 100, which are the 100 shares that are sealed in the contract, right? The volume on 3 strikes worth of cost, man. Yeah. So definitely know, and if you have several calls, add them, add the theta, and then you'll know how much you're losing versus how much you're gaining on your delta. But once that, I'm telling you, man, once you jump in the money, or even at the money, that's your gamma is then going to kick in, and you're going to be making twice the cash, depending on what your gamma is already saying. Your implied volatility is going to kick in as well, and you're just going to see the dollars print. A $50 contract can turn into $400 real fast if that happens. So just know for a fact that it's quite another thing to get into, long calls. So okay, man, that is a high theta. Okay, so that's very, very dangerous. So multiply that times 100, and that is what you're losing per day of holding it for one contract. So then multiply however many contracts you have, and that's how much you're losing total per day. Okay, so that's how you can calculate how you're losing per day of holding a contract. Okay, which is why a lot of people don't like to overnight contracts. So David Parr is saying to buy in the money. So when you're buying in the money is actually less risk, but you have a lesser pump, right? And also consider your open interest as well. So if you're looking at open interest like 600, 800, 1,000, 1,200, 1,800, that's all cool, because it means that literally there's a lot of activity trying to buy that contract. So your delta, man, no way. Your delta is 49.15. So that times 100. And okay, so yeah, as soon as you jump in the money, you're going to be gaining an additional 26 cents, almost 27 cents above your 49 cents delta. So 40, 50, 60, almost, 50, 60, 70, you're looking at almost 80 cents 80 cents times 100 per contract that you have long. For man, that's going to be good. So yeah, I honestly do see this. I honestly do see your contracts coming in. Okay, so somebody asked me regarding the entry for AMC. Remember, guys, let's go ahead and refer back to the RSI. Let me take a sip of water. So yeah, in referencing the RSI here, this is what I'm using to tell us if there's a potential drawback, right? So, damn. All right, 5-minute is absolutely mooning over here. 15-minute as well. Let me, just for giggles, right? I don't like to look at these tiny time frames, but it may be appropriate. All right, so on the 1-minute chart, there is still some upside to be faced. This would actually live out pretty fast, by the way. So 86.90, we still have another iteration of 89, historically speaking, right? So 89, and let's see. So this one's 92. Okay, so this thing has a little bit of upside to still continue. Please remember that when playing high volatility plays, you actually wouldn't want to go in right away. So the reason why I'm saying that is because if you're looking at a shorter time frame, let me make this a little bigger, okay? So you would have to play this inversely to how other people play it, which is, I'm talking about other people as in the majority of retail, okay? So, and this is why a lot of retail ends up losing, is because they end up thinking that they're about to miss the moonshot, when in fact the ebb and flow of the markets always happen nonetheless. So if you're looking at, let's go to the 15-minute or the 5-minute, sorry, and just let's see here. So if we're looking at any resistances based on the 5-minute, we're going to take a Fibonacci ratio from the prior candle, which is, you know what, we can actually take it. Yeah, we can actually take it from the aftermarket range high to the range low. And this would essentially tell us where we could be in the morning, right? So let's see. Okay, so we'll take it like this. And then since we're suggesting upside on the RSI, I'm talking right away here, okay? We're talking upside right away from the 1 minute on the RSI. So if we're gonna pull back, it's gonna be likely to be pulled back from about 535 to 541. Okay, so you would need to wait. You would need to wait for this thing to rocket ship to 541, and then it'll pull back. And in that pullback, you're going to have a space to get in. You're not going to be able to gain this entry at 529. All right, so please remember, guys, I'm not a financial advisor. Take whatever I do show and iterate as just a form of entertainment here. Okay, you guys know that I am not, I really can't suggest for you to buy or sell anything, okay? Any assets whatsoever. All right, so it gets a little scary here when I actually start to talk a play publicly like this, okay? So just know that this is how I would play it like myself, okay? So Arca, make lessons how to play options. Man, I am not as good as options as I should be in order for me to show you guys like that, right? So, but you know what? Based on that request, I'm actually going to start conditioning myself for the options. And I know a great deal of it, of course, but it's just quite another beast. It's a whole other beast, and there's also statistics involved in that. The way I want to play them, right? I don't just play anything like this. There has to be math behind it. So, right, what I'm telling you guys is that you would have to essentially pull back, okay? But I'm not sure that we'll be able to gain this entry at 529. So the pullback would happen likely from about $5.41. We'll come back down, and the small gap of entry that I'm talking about would likely be between $5.30, let's see, about $5.30 to about $5.32. And please remember that there's always huge price action happening throughout the day. I mean, this is still an area of after hours, right? So this is what I mean. Okay, let's go ahead and give you a live example of it. Let me hide this and show you. This was market open right here. Okay, so things were already bullish here. We were making a huge pump to the upside in the after hours, right? Everybody's thinking, where should I gain entry? I'm already there, right? And I'm just gonna do it right now. And then the price action goes against your favor. So what I'm saying is that wait for it to pump, right? And then wait for it to come back, because where it opened, check it out. It opened right over here at about $5.24, and then it scaled back to a low of $5.20. If it's going to do that, great, right? So just know not to go in right away. Wait for the morning volatility to get out of the way first, because if you're not in the after hours down here, then that can present some risks, right? So keep in mind what your after hours low is and what your after hours high is, because those are essentially going to work and serve as huge areas of support later in the day. Okay, so please notice here that you have, let's see, you have a low on the after hours of, let's see, what is it? The L on top, right up here, $4.93. You have a low of the after hours, right? So this is continuing. You then have another low down here printed. If we are going to face a support later on, if we capitulate, expect it to happen here, or literally between the areas of about 493 and 487 in case of fire. This is momentum trading, okay? I am giving you information on scalp trading. This is literally live trading. I'm not talking about like swing plays the way I usually do. Because in swing plays, I'm not really referencing the after hours low or the after hours high or the day's high or the day's low. Okay, but those are things that you have to keep in mind when you are trading the day. Okay, when you are trading momentum, you make sure to know your information. Keep these areas in mind. A lot of people tend to do this, right? So they'll tend to keep a trend line here and look at the high of the after hours and also the after hours from the previous day, just in case. If we are making new highs, then you are essentially in price discovery. So then you would actually have to look a little further back to see a potential range, right? In this case, you can see that we have this area here. So you mark an area of resistance that you can keep in mind. So now you know where we can go in between, right? The next step in a 5 minute, right? The next step is load your SMAs and know where your supports are alongside a fib. Okay, so fibs can be taken from this range here to this range here, considering the after hours trading, right? But if you want to take into consideration an overall picture, then take it from the current day's high to the after hours low, right? And then this way you have an overall range that you can consider for the day that's coming in. Now you know the areas that are going to be likely to be touched during the next trading day. Okay, so these are tactics and strategies based on momentum trades and just for day trades, okay? Not holding overnight. I'm talking about scalp trading here, okay? So if you're taking into consideration that this metric here, you can see that the price action is literally right at the 0.618, 525, right at above it, okay? So this is our support. If we can come back, like I told you earlier, I'm not sure that we can actually reach that 529, but if it wicks lower, fine. Look at the 0.618 here in the shorter term time frame, 523. Look at it rhyme with the larger term time frame, 525. Okay, so it's already showing some rhyming. So it's hard. It's a lot of information. I get it, but the more you do this, the more you'll start getting you'll familiarize yourself with how the price action moves. So in this area now we're going to trade the ranges and pair it with an RSI, pair it with momentum. You'll start to see this pump to the upside. You're going to be like, okay, we're reaching this 1.618 as this is live moving up. You're going to then think to yourself, okay, historically speaking, we've been there at about 90% or 82%. We're likely to face a pullback around here. And then you start to look at that price action and you see in a discretionary manner that the upside is likely to cap out at 541 or above and then pull back, right? And then you'll see it start that pullback and then you can gain your entry. Okay, so this is man, it's just momentum trading is actually not for the faint of heart, right? So just know for a fact that momentum trading does require a high amount of attention and no distractions. And absolutely take your electrolytes, make sure to get a good night's rest. Okay, if you want to if you really want to day trade like this, you need to be clear-headed and really focused and know your plan before you go in the next day. You cannot chart these things on the day of the trade, okay? Make sure that you know what you're expecting. Since we're already overinflated on the 5 minute, you're looking at your 1 minute, we're already way overextended here too. The pullback is likely to happen soon. If you didn't know this, then you're just going to go in out of nowhere, and then this thing is just going to capitulate to the downside, leaving you back holding up here, right? So play it in a smart way. Look at the time frames that a lot of people don't look at. Look at 1 minute, 3 minute, 5 minute too. 15 minutes, don't use it so much. You can probably be late a little bit, right? But if you're trying to understand the overall direction of this, then 30 minutes and 1 hour, just so you can gauge perspective here within the range that you were already looking at, right? So this is essentially that range that more than likely would be respected. You have a backup range down here in the 30-minute time frame that would be at about $4.39. Not saying that it's going to go back there, just saying that in case it does, you now know where to set your stop losses, okay? So meaning that this is another area of support right down here, which is confluent with all of this, okay? There's a lot of rhyming there. So in this case, you can actually see now that you have a potential area for a stop in case you do want to risk this thing to go up higher and you do gain entry down here somewhere. Your stop loss could also be below your previous day's aftermarket lows, right? So or pre-market lows. So it could be set right down here, and then you probably won't get stopped out, and then you'll continue on to the upside. But please remember to be absolutely conditioned and really in a clear state of mind when momentum trading. It is not the same as swing trading. It is actually a very different beast, and it does require your brain to be absolutely sharp. Okay, you guys. So I'm not day trading with you guys right now because my boy is literally falling asleep at 5 in the freaking morning and actually fell asleep at 7 in the morning yesterday. Oh my goodness. So I haven't been able to run my live streams in the morning, of which I would love to, right? Because momentum trading is something that I do like. I enjoy swing trading more, but I still, there's a gift in making momentum trade wins, right? So you'll likely see your P&L go, okay, I'm up 4% on this trade here. Great. Let's go ahead and enter the next trade since we already prepped it. You're going to have an 8% win on the next trade. You're going to have a 12% on the next one, a 6% on the next one, and you calculate all of that stuff throughout the day. And then bam, you notice that you're 35, 40% up and that's on the day. And then at the end of the week, you calculate all of that, and then you're going to see that you're 180% up through a 5-day trading session thing, that you're starting to create your own short squeeze, aren't you? So you actually don't have to diamond hand. You actually don't have to, hodl or nothing like that. So you can make your own squeeze happen day in and day out, and then calculate the wins at the end of the week. Make sure to keep a journal. Make sure to consider your broker fees. Make sure to factor all of that stuff in, as that will likely start to increase as you start day trading, okay? So, yeah, I know that we actually went a little crazy on this right here, but I wanted to make sure that that question was answered correctly for the person who asked me, where could entry be? That question is just so broad, right? So I can't just answer that. I would have to be as clear. I would have to be as utterly clear as I just was, right, you guys? So Samantha H, how you doing? David Parr saying a grand a day keeps the blues away. Man, that's super lucrative. Absolutely. Stock hodl syndrome. I do feel that, man. So yeah, there's other methods, guys. So if day trading is not your thing, there's also swing trading. If swing trading is not your thing, there's also investing. Okay, long-term investments. Yeah. So we're gonna go ahead and end this thing now for ticker symbol AMC. Remember, guys, I actually did give this rating a solid B, and I mean, in respects to this potentially having a solid statistical backtest regarding volatility versus momentum. So I'm still very excited over that. I will run it. I still have to run the VS one, which is another opportunity. So we have literally a bunch of opportunities that are stacking up for us to actually get long these stocks. Man, very good deal. Thank you so much. You hear the little guy over there? He's yelling, where is daddy? So, yeah, guys, let's go ahead and move on to the next ticker. And let me just write down that we actually have a rating of B. Yeah, I gave it a solid B, right? I just want to make sure that I have that so that we could write it down in the description for later on, right, you guys? All right, so the next ticker that we're going to look at is ticker symbol NVOS. And I know that that's another one that's been requested quite often, actually, and I haven't been able to get to it. So let's just go ahead and look at it now, okay, you guys? So, okay. So the NVOS ticker has potentially found its floor. I made a note here because I think that this right angle triangle may actually be that reason why we're moving on to the upside. And we have already broken out of this now. So this is good. I actually didn't even, the last time I saw this was actually right here. Since I was prepping the ticker so that I can, just look at it the next day, but I didn't get to. But it's okay. We're making a breakout here. So the price action is going to vary. There, please notice, I mean, if we're looking at this on the 4-hour, let's just go ahead and see if we ever came back to test that newly converted resistance. No, we never came back. All right, so when we don't come back here, it doesn't have to happen. We don't have to come back to test the newly converted resistance into support. I'm just saying that when this breakout happens, the usual thing to do is come back and test it, right? But obviously, we've already long surpassed actually that opportunity. So in fact, in the 4-hour time frame, I can see the potential correction of the trend line, which could actually be, let me just make sure that it could be, right? So it's more or less that. I am actually not too excited about that. I'm still going to keep it like this. Another thing to notice is on the hourly time frame, we could be potentially building this inverse herp and derp right over here, maybe even in the 4-hour time frame, right? You see it? You have that shoulder, you have the head, and you have a shoulder here. So in price action, it looks like it's trying to build it. Also, could possibly be a cup and handle, right? If this is a little too far away. I'm just giving you guys some ridiculous formations here just to show you that there could possibly be a psychological component applied on this, right? So let's reference actually. Let's, you know what, we can go ahead and just move this along and reference the RSI on the 30-minute immediate short term. And yeah, actually, CRTD is actually next, is right after this one, my brother. So yeah, okay, so immediate downside suggestion here. It looks like it's losing a little bit of bear strength, but it's still suggesting that downside. Buy hourly is also suggesting some downside here. It looks like it's slowing down too, so there may be a correction soon. Let's go to the 6 hour. 6 hour, okay, so this is, yeah, it's looking like there's really not much bear strength left. Let's see if we can get closer now. 8 hour and 12 hour are still, it's actually bullish. Wow. Let me reference the buy date. Okay, so yeah, there's going to be a little bit of time to acquire. Wow, sorry, let me take a sip of water. I don't know what was happening there. Okay, so the buy daily, very interesting thing here is there is a continuation to the upside on a macro perspective. So that means that over the next few days, we can likely reaccumulate. And that's the reason, actually over the next day, and maybe even the half a day. So the reaccumulation process would probably have us go back down to, oh man, no way. Is this actually going to play out that formation? That's funny. This formation really sucks too. I hate it. So there is this area of reloading here. So meaning that we would potentially find the opportunity to get long this stock between the, let's see, 1275 and 1249. So right within this area, finalizing that right shoulder. And then this would actually push to the upside. So there are two ways to figure out that upside. First of all, we can actually take the price objective based on the neckline of this formation, right? So arguably right here. So let's go ahead and take, oh my God, it smells so good. Wow. I don't know what is being cooked outside, but damn. Smells like Italian sausages and pasta out there. Wow. Okay, so this would be the price objective, okay? So based on the psychological component, I'm talking about if it were a cup and handle or if it were an inverse herp and derp, right? If we were looking at a top side of about 1910. So if there is going to be any rhyming to that, it would likely be with our fibs, and I'll go ahead and load up some moving averages as well, okay? So actually, you know what? I'm not going to take it so short term. Let me just take it overall, and yeah, to about this area down. Or actually, you know what? No. I'm going to take this from the top side to the overall low and see what we get, okay? Because this may have further push. So that top side target is actually just upside of the one fib, right, in the longer term. But if we're talking about shorter term too, which I can do for you, let's take it from the swing high to the swing low of literally what's happening right now. And it's taking us right in between the 3.272 and the 3.618. So there is there is some geometric confluence here as well. So this is very nice. So the resistance range that I'm going to give you for the shorter term, I'm talking about 2, 3, 4 days maybe, we can actually see this target. That's pretty nice actually. Damn. Right over here to the 3.618. Okay, so this is going to be that area of resistance, likely to pull back and find support at that 1.618 at 15 cents before continuing on to the upside. So if we're able to do that, if we're able to meet this target, that would essentially mean a break of market structure. Now, what the hell do I mean by that? Well, I mean that we would essentially be breaking the rules of what's happening here. The lower highs run, right? So in this case, we're going to break upside this current high and then create a new higher high. So, and it would actually then introduce a very, very slight rising channel, okay? So, or an ascending channel. And you can see it like this. Let me go ahead and just pull it up from here to that supposed area. And this should line up. It should line up perfectly. Okay, so let's see. Right down here. So if it's not lining up, then there could be some adjustments to face, but we can actually just, okay, so yeah, so it is lining up. So this is potentially the range that we would be riding upon meeting that top side target that we're looking at. Okay, so then if that happens, now we know the direction of which this asset is going to be moving. Okay, so that's huge speculation here, and I'm talking about discretionary trading, but this is how we prepare. Right, so there is that potential to make that upside target here if we are able to break it, because please remember that the 3-day and the 2-day, my goodness, the bi-daily and the 3-day are actually suggesting a massive continuation to the upside. Look at the 5-day making a cross above the 14-day simple. This is bullish. This is bullish. This is very bullish. Damn it. I hated that I didn't look at it earlier. It's just so many, You know how the story goes, guys. So now I'm very curious to see volatility versus momentum. So again, let's pull up the Cryptex Arc Series Enhanced MACD to. All right. So let's see the daily and the. Oh man, check it out. We're getting that long signal on the daily. Oof. Okay. So we're getting a long signal. We're in contraction right now. This is likely to start expanding and continue on to the upside. The moving average is already pivoted. Too. Man, very cool stuff. Very cool. Let's see the bi-daily. Where is it? Man, bi-daily already done fired off that freaking signal way long ago. So it actually fired off the signal here. Very aggressive of it. And it's still suggesting an upside. So if we're looking at a signal here, you're in the red, right? So let's see where it fired off on the 8-hour. The 8-hour also just recently fired off. So the shorter term time frames are reading it better right now. This is very interesting. Okay, yeah, guys, so I honestly do see some upside coming in for the next few days for NVOS, and this is also another opportunity to make a long trade here. Remember, I'm not a financial advisor, guys, so this is awesome, guys. NVOS is doing some cool stuff. Let's look at the cap. I'm not sure. I think if somebody, okay, thank you so much, Mark. I literally just saw it pop up, dude. You're so awesome. So we're looking at an 8 million cap, right? And you're looking at the float of about 25 mil. So it's high risk, nonetheless. Of course it is, right? So the float, the float here is the same. Actually, the float reported on TradingView is coming in at 108 million. With a market cap of about 17 mil. Interesting. So just keep in mind, nonetheless, guys, it's still high risk, right? It doesn't matter those small increments here, but it's still high risk. Okay, so the area of loading, like I said, remember, would be likely to be faced in that, let's see, 1274, about 1276 to about 1249, like we said. And another reason that we can actually validate that downside is because this is the minimum area where I would consider candle analysis. And please focus on this bearish engulfing here. Okay, so as you can see, let me, let me just go ahead and make sure that the candles, the algorithm for enhanced MACD actually changes the candle's colors, and it starts to give you strength values based on the readings of volatility versus momentum. So it starts to outline a bearish candle and outlines the bullish candles with a deeper and deeper green hue as we start getting more bullish, right? So very interesting indicator here. Again, you guys, if you're interested in acquiring the Cryptex indicators, reach out to me via DM. We'll go over the sub packages. Okay, so yes, we're suggesting an 8-hour bearish engulfing here, which would essentially introduce the possibility of entering right down here to get long this stock for a trade that could essentially present a type of gain. Let's see. Let's do it from the higher end, okay? From the higher end entry to, all right, so to the 1.618, first of all, to the 1.618, you're looking at a 24.57% gain. To the lower end of the upside target, what we're looking at, which is the price objective of this triangle here, you're looking at a gain of about 49.40% and a topside gain of about 52.34%. So this can present some pretty nice gains and likely to happen very soon. So Google said 7.7 million market cap with NVOS. Really interesting. I wouldn't be surprised if if TradingView's algo has it wrong, right? But nonetheless, it's still high risk, right? So that guys, let's go ahead and rate the trade. What are we rating this? So do you mind looking at COST short and long term? Not looking to trade. Thank you, Spygirl7. I rarely do things like that, right? So since you're not trading it, yeah, I can give you a quick look. I can't even say it right. So you said COST, or is wait, you're looking at cost. You're looking at cost as in right now the entry, or what do you mean, Spygirl7? I am speaking to you directly. If it is a ticker, then you know. Oh, you're looking at Costco. Okay. So you're looking at long term here. Oh, gotcha. All right. So, wow, look at that, guys. Damn. I didn't even know Costco existed in 1980. Has it really? Wow, 1986, Costco. Really cool stuff. And I mean, it's literally following the broader market trend here. And you can actually see that by pairing it with even the SPY. Let's go ahead and add that in. Yeah, take a look. That's how you know, man, you spent too much time in the charts, right? You can actually see the correlation between broader markets and your asset that you're looking at, right? Very interesting correlation here. Yeah, the whole thing, yeah, so this thing is actually broader market dependent and a sympathy run as well. One thing to notice here, Spy Girl. So one thing to actually keep in mind is that if you're talking about long-term investment, the entry that you're looking at, $504 versus a $476 entry doesn't matter. So because you're going long you're going long and long-term investment. So let's see. Spy Girl saying, yes, cost. I was wondering if I should sell now or we see 543 end up. Thank you for looking again. No, not a problem. So $543 is, let's see, where's 543? So 543 is literally going to be your top side of November 23rd, 2022. Okay. Based on the broader markets, you are going to be facing some weakness coming in. Okay. So let's see the RSI on the 5-day and the 3-day. Okay, so consolidation periods all over the place. All right, so if you're already long this, then expect some downside in the immediate short term, likely to see the first area of about $495 in the coming day. Actually, the next range to reload would be around 478.39. But this is going to start making new highs though. Okay, because this is actually breaking out of a very important, this is breaking out of a descending channel here. So this is very important. We're at support right now. Okay, so the support is going to fail just for tomorrow, then we're going to regain it. And then in regaining that, which I believe honestly the PPI ratings today were very, very much over exaggerated by the market. So I definitely see this continuing on to the upside. And in fact, the first target that I can see this touching would be 2 weeks from now at about $529, followed by the touch that you're talking about. But that has a range of 536 to 543. Let me see. What the heck is that one there? The high would be, let's see. Let's get in just a little bit closer. I can't actually see it there. So the high would be 542.58. So this would be, it would be the range. It would be just a range that you would have to combat here. And the reason why I'm saying there's a range is because there's a gap that you have to keep in mind. This gap right over here. So that gap would present some very strong resistance, of which we already faced once. A lot of people talk about double tops here, right? But a double top or triple top, those are, or even the bottoms, they're not so reliable. So in this case, I actually see this beating it or succeeding the upside. And let me see on a macro perspective on a monthly. The monthly looks like it's actually accumulating. This is wow. This is a huge accumulation here before a continuation onto the way up. If you're holding on to Costco, I don't even know that 543 would be the greatest area to sell. Honestly, honestly, this if you're in the money right now, if you're in profit, again, appreciate you looking. Yeah, I was looking at 543, 551.46, 551.46, right? So 551.46 would be right. And let me see what that has confluence with. So. Okay, and then let me take a fib for you real quick and see. This is the monthly, by the way. It doesn't really. All right. So on a monthly, your macro target would actually be a little tighter. Okay, so let me just bring this down to be super immaculate here. 551.56. You're 10 cents off. You're dead on the money. So the 1.618, the target that you're looking at is a macro side, a golden mean. So it's very important for you to consider that. The 551.56 area is absolutely relevant. If anything, I would actually just pull out a little earlier, because in that case you'd probably face a little bit of resistance and also the anxiety touch. So matching it to this monthly candle, 546.22 would in fact be a little, or 546.57. Let me make sure it's that. The high is 546.14. So 546.14 could be that safer take profit before the 1.618, because then, everybody's going to take profit before that and then have it capitulate. But the capitulation is only going to be to reload and then continue on to the upside. Very important thing to notice here, that it's still in a regression. Okay, so trendline regression rejection is absolutely real, and it looks like it's still being faced. Okay, so, or you can look at it like maybe even like this, right? So where we could be beating it now. No, I think this is still the better way to look at it. So there's a couple resistances here that you can actually face. Look at this, landing right at the top of that resistance range that I told you. If we're looking at regression, right? So, which the markets tend to not really respect as much anymore. But technically speaking, this would be one area of take profit, 538.27. And then that following target, like I said, would be great. You're already in the money. you obviously are an experienced trader. So Spy Girl saying, I am just afraid that it'll drop to 380 area, and I left a bag holdings so I could not figure out where to take profit. Well, the downside is relevant right now because the broader markets are a little bit bleeding, but I think it was an overreaction, like I said, based on the PPI data release. So guys, this is good that we're looking at this, because this is broader market as well. Costco can easily move the markets. So look at this. Check out the float, 441 mil, good deal. And the market cap is at 223 billion. Huge cap. This is likely to move the markets. Okay, so we're in a very bullish stance, except that if you go down to 380, what is 380? No way. I don't think $380. Did you really say that? Let me see. I am just afraid that it'll drop to 380. No way. You're talking about what low is that, by the way? It doesn't even look like it rhymes with anything. Those are the highs. Those are the highs of November 30th, 2020, right before that dump. If you're long this from 380, freaking congratulations. Damn. That is super valuation. Awesome. Good call, by the way. But yeah, I think you're just going to have to weather out a little bit of storm before this can actually correct and then start making its upside again. And likely to be those targets, the upside targets that we're looking at, specifically the higher target that you're looking at by the 1.618, like we said, the 551 area ish, that would likely come in. I'm talking about later, like a couple weeks, maybe even a few weeks. This target up here to the 1.272 could be happening. Yeah, literally, David Parr. For real, it's a reaccumulation phase that could likely happen within the next 2 days. Next 2 days. It could likely happen within a week or two, and then we could see and then reevaluate, right? So, or recollect. Yeah. So very cool stuff. Not a lot of people ask me about about tickers like this, but I really feel more confidence talking about tickers like this, you know, because the charts matter a lot more to tickers like this than they do in things like GTII. It's a lot more of a challenge. Even though, trust me when I say that a lot of people express to me how accurate I've been with GTII and COSM. I promise you that does not come in without a serious deal of work and attention to detail, right? So I just want to express that because that is super difficult. But yeah, that's oh, so Spy Girl, you said something. So yeah, I bought there. Let's see, I bought there and still confused where to sell. So much appreciate your time. And know your baby is waiting. Thank you. No. I thank you. Thank you so much for coming by. And if you're already following me in the Discord, go ahead and put your questions there too. You know, show me whatever position. It doesn't matter. I try to reply to people on DMs all the time. Steven is actually the comment right below you. He's one to actually attest to that. Mark Roach is also one to kind of back me on that. I do tend to reply via DMs as well, you know, so just consider that as well if you need further assistance or whatever. Anybody here. Okay, you guys. So I want to look at CRTD now, guys, and that's it's actually been heavily requested, right? But it's good. I'm liking that it's heavily requested because as you all know, whatever happened to which I still don't know, by the way, whatever happened to Avid is still there. Oh man, so we eventually ended up touching. Look at that. So we absolutely touched the support line that we were talking about forever ago. My goodness. Everybody was killing me because I said we're going to go down here. Man. Guys, I don't mean any yeah, seriously, David Farr, for a real. That is it's super challenging. So Spy Girl, oh, that's amazing. I will be sharing you my chart. Again, appreciate you. Yeah, please go ahead and share it, and then we'll talk strategy. Like everybody, guys, okay? I express it all the time. Reach out, and I'll try to get back to you as soon as humanly possible, right? And Spy Girl saying, you are so kind. I try my best. I really care about retail here, okay, you guys? So particularly this ticker is another one that a lot of people tend to have trouble with, right? Sebastian Lim saying looks ready to reverse pretty soon, and this is why I'm saying this, bro. Check this out. This is first of all, I don't even remember what we did, but I'm just gonna go ahead and mention Costco, right? That we did sort of talk about it regardless, and very good deal. Okay, so yeah, I'm not even sure what happened with NVOS, but it's all good. Oh, 1107 CRTD. Thanks so much, dude. Okay. All right. So let's go ahead and continue on. CRTD is bouncing from that zone that I actually from back here when we were going to make that downside when I got hated by the entire world, right? I was suggesting a downside continuation because of this, guys. You are going to flip. You are going to flip when you see this. Okay. So you take the upside, right? And from the breakout, which is right over here, you put it, and then you get a target of 38.24, of which I showed people before. And then I was massively hated, right? I said upon the failure of this rising or ascending triangle, we're likely to touch this target down here, right? So that's why I made this range. It eventually happened anyway. My goodness. And I also mentioned that it was at the 1.618 inverse fib. It was very, very confluent. So, man, I hate it that we have to come back, you know, and then realize that, damn, Arca was right. It's not that I'm right. It's that it's freaking math. Okay? Math is literally saying that we're going to go there. All right? So Spy Girl saying, I have been listening to you for a few days now and love your analysis, learning so much from you. Thank you so much. And I know you don't always speak, right? So I really appreciate that you came by and said hello this time. I encourage that, okay? So really appreciate you for stopping by. So Straight Cash, homie, what are you saying? Keep going all night. East Coast third shift. Damn, man. So you're working the night shift or what? So Peter saying anytime for VI RI. Oh, that was the one that I was talking. Did you get long that because of the space call I did yesterday? Someone asked me to come in on the space call yesterday. Frank Benedetto ended up showing up. And yeah, so Dosery, what is up? Wow, you're very dedicated to your followers. Great job learning all you can from anyone. Yes, markets aren't hard after a while. Definitely not. Keep learning. Y'all in good hands here. Thank you, Dosery. You're so kind. Really appreciate you for stopping by and saying hello. Guys, Dosery, big brain there. So yes, that's right. Guys, anyway, so let's go ahead and thank you, Mark. So let's go ahead and continue over here. Yeah, look at the amount of fibs, guys. Guys, for real. The reason why I have a bunch of fibs on this is because I have different time frame fib. So I want to see shorter time frame suggestion versus higher time frame and medium time frame suggestions for targets. Okay, so I'm telling you, I really mean it when I say that it's super hard for us to figure out the price action for CRTD and GTII type assets. Okay, man, I really have to concentrate like nobody's business when expressing a price action through CRTD. Okay, so let's go ahead and reference momentum starting from, let's see. Starting from the immediate short-term time frame, 30-minute, already suggesting a massive upside. It's already crossing above that 14-day simple. Let's go to the bi-hourly. Bi-hourly, wow, guys. So I have mentioned before, I hated that it's in the bi-hourly, but I have mentioned before that when you're looking at long wick candles like this, the smaller the body, the bigger the wicks or the shadows, the higher quality, right? So this is absolutely high quality, and it's suggesting just some sideways trading, which is very interesting. However, we have to notice that the RSI is sitting in the bear strength percentile and also in the gravitational zone right before the oversold area. Okay, you guys. So Steven is saying that the CRTD bid and ask is it really that close together? 40-50? Wow. Damn. 40 and 50. Okay. 40 and 50. That's a pretty big spread considering. Yeah, that's a huge range, man. It's dangerous to enter when having a spread like that, especially with a low execution or a slow execution platform. Okay, so if you got to wait till the spread is a little tighter so that you can gain entry with a slow execution platform like Webull or Robinhood or Moomoo or things like that. They're not fast. Okay, so let's move on. Let's go to the 6-hour time frame. CRTD is still suggesting some downside in the 6-hour. But please mind that we're actually getting into critically oversold. We're about to enter oversold. So actually check this out. If we're suggesting downside, that means that in the shorter term time frame there could still be validations to be made on this support. Yeah, there could be validations to still be looked at this support before a continuation onto the upside. Okay, you guys. So let's go ahead and reference the 12-hour and see here. Okay, so let's see. David Parr saying you're the most patient person in the market to cover this kind of stock without a doubt. Oh my goodness, man, it does require a great deal of patience. But if for people who are really close to me, they know and they absolutely see me struggle. And Spy Girl, that's so kind of you. Thank you so much. And David saying your future is amazing. I hope so. But I really I care about people, especially the ones in these highly manipulated stocks, right? So I just don't want you guys to lose. If we're looking at an upside continuation, it's not going to be right away. Like I said, please guys, remember that we're still going to have to validate a lot of what's going on here. This is a huge shock and it's starting to make a very nice print. Okay. So the daily is still suggesting downside, so there's still more accumulation. Guys, this is in respects to the broader markets too. Okay, so it looks like all right. Here we go. On the buy daily, we're starting to slow down a bit. Okay, so that could indicate that the sell pressure is coming to an end in about a week. So 5 days is actually showing that slowing down as well, and the weekly is actually showing a downside continuation. All right, so guys, please expect us to be well within this range. I'm talking about 42 to about 52 cents for the coming weeks, maybe even a month. Okay, and the reason why I'm saying that is because we're about to experience the support and the bounce, right, for an upside continuation on the bi-weekly. Okay, so bi-weekly could take, I mean, yeah, that could literally take about a month to fulfill, and then finally find a support before a continuation onto the upside. What I can say is that if we do get some support from the broader markets, then this can absolutely help us and push the upside here on CRTD. Okay, but also remember that CRTD is in the process of making some fundamental the fundamental acquisition, right, with GTII, I believe it was. I'm sorry, you guys know that I don't practice fundamental analysis, okay? So bear with me with that stuff. So definitely know that it has something in line that can potentially just rocket ship this from wherever it is, and it would invalidate everything we're talking about. But in a wider perspective, we're still making yet another higher low. Okay, so whether we're going to be in this target or not, the thing is that I have a backup target to this, and this was the same target. I'm still going to honor it, you guys, okay? Because this is particular to this candle here. The support was in particular to the 1.618, but also this candle, okay? So in respects to this candle iteration here, where I pointed out a long time ago, and they said, Arca, you suck, right? I still will honor that just in case, but please know that this price action here is quite large. So we can actually look at about a 40-cent entry before we can actually continue on to the upside. Steven, that's so kind of you, dude. Thank you very much. You guys, that really means a lot, man. Thank you. And just know that there could be a secondary target down here of which we can face some massive loading. And why I'm saying this is because if you're looking at it at a range here, you guys, okay? If you're looking at it at a range in the perspective of supply and demand, this is a very strong demand zone. And also, I mean, considering, look at the bounce that we face today. This is huge, okay? This is a huge demand zone, and this is another supply zone. The max supply zone that we're looking at is right up here, okay? So I really don't think this is going to be that area. Please notice the title of this. It's literally titled CRTD Supply and Demand Zones, okay? So this is why I noted these. I noted these here for future purposes, not for hate and not for FUD. Okay, you guys, I just did this so that I can be able to show you guys the relevance of how price action moves. And it's not, and it could, yes, of course, there could be manipulation. If I see this, they see it. So they can manipulate it down to this area and then it can run up. Right? So just know that that's what I'm looking for. Okay, more than likely, the area of about 40 cents within the next coming days. But if we still have bearish action according to the larger term time frame, then we can absolutely face a downside touch of about 36 cents. Okay, so let's go ahead and reference volatility versus momentum now to see if there's anything else in that. Okay, already, Sebastian Lim, I'm waiting for the BBWP plus stochastic momentum on the daily. Okay, so let's see on the daily what volatility versus momentum has to offer, right? Sorry, I already loaded that one. Let's go to BBWP and see what we got. Okay, I see what you're doing. Yeah, so this is very much, and it's already coming down from critical volatility, which actually could, let me see the 12-hour. Buy daily, let's see what it's got. Oof, man. Okay, so yeah, these are literally telling me that there is still some downside to be expected, likely to face this area here from just supply and demand. Statistically, this would be a pretty good test here. So, the expansion phase starting versus the momentum suggesting a continuation to the downside, we would need this to pivot. Okay, so this is still pretty aggressive. Okay, so now we can see just how far we can go down because historically speaking, there is still some more room to come down. Okay, so max loss, I don't think it can go all the way down to there. But this is very, let's see, I mean, I can't eyeball an average here, right? So, but we can average maybe using a mean the reason why I'm saying that is because this thing is probably in preparation of making a mean reversion. And yeah, so yeah, the likely area would be dropping down to the 7th percentile, and this would be essentially that zone. And let me see the pivots. Okay, all right. So yes, even if you're looking at it in this manner, yes, it looks like it's a nosedive. It is, but you have to actually notice that there are pivots already in place right here. It's already pivoting, signaling that there could be a potential loss of strength. So if I'm being quite honest, the price action may actually end up doing something like this, right? So it'll do like a slight failure followed by a continuation to the upside in this behavior here. So it'll likely do something like this, and then we'll continue referencing this. You guys will know that this was the thing that we were looking at that one day, and I put it right where we are today. Okay, so then you'll start to see that we'll make this a little bit of maybe a dotted line instead, so that we can see. Okay, so the other thing is that in respects to the other average, this would be likely the slower moving one, which would actually fail it some more and then continue on to the upside in this manner. So similar to maybe like it'll start to Y, right? And then we can do it. So they separate at one point or another. So this is kind of like what I'm looking at. We'll color them differently too. Okay, so we'll leave this one yellow and the other one we'll leave blue. Okay, so that's what we're waiting for. Okay, you guys. So alongside this, there could be the continuation of the volatility all the way up to into critical expansion. So yeah, there is some gathering of longs still to do here. So again, guys, remember the bottom targets that I'm looking at for a massive bounce, and I'm really talking about a massive bounce. So you're an unbiased statistical trader? Yes, absolutely. I do not care about fundamentals. I care about numbers only. And in this case, of course, I'm not practicing anything mathematical here because it's all discretion, right? Because there's no time in a live situation. But yes, I am absolutely dependent on numbers. I am mostly systematic and partly discretionary. So the discretion is pretty strong on my end because I learned a lot of just raw charting, raw price action, and a lot of formation analysis, candle analysis, a lot of just, the traditional rules. But then in finding statistics and some physics, I actually ended up pairing a lot of that into mathematical probabilities. And that would absolutely gave me a huge edge over my trade. And Josry saying, love your indicators. Thank you so kindly. They are absolutely something. And I'm actually developing another one that's going to include a very rare thing that a lot of people have been trying to solve. It's going to include a psychological component. So it's called SPA or SPA plus, the statistical psychological algo, or there's a few variations of it, but it's in development and we still have to forward test it. I'm waiting for maybe a 6 to 8 month. You got burned, didn't you? Yes, absolutely. This is why I do this. A lot of people ask me that question. I went long without knowing how to trade 15 months ago. That's exactly when I started learning how to trade, and that was for AMC. In respects to CRTD, though, guys, my goodness, this is actually the area that we're looking for before a pretty substantial bounce. Oh yeah, and I really do think so. As soon as we loaded here, check this out, man. As soon as we loaded in this area, we collected so much, took profits at the next supply zone, reloaded, was too much anxiety, and then we just literally rocket ship to the upside. Dosary saying emotions and sentiment, price pressure, momentum is very important also. Absolutely. I take into consideration outside sources of emotions and psychology, none of my own. In fact, I'll give you a little secret here as to how I'm able to measure psychology. So referencing the SPY on a 3-day. Let's go ahead and look at this. So this formation here is actually called a broadening descending wedge. If some of you don't know, my AMC sucks. So just know that this formation represents a specific psychological component, and that is called anxiety. Okay, so I look for formations like this to measure the consistencies through historical data, right, in several time frames to understand how anxiety placed its gain or loss based on the realizing of these formations to the upside or to the downside or a right angled formation, both of the bearish and bullish right angled formation variety as well. So this gives me anxiety. I have another formation for greed. I have another formation for fear, and that's how I'm creating the indicators. I'm creating them based on probabilities that have to do with psychological components historically. Dosri saying it's priming again, so is all the memes. Yeah, absolutely. It's the meme stocks are really making a weird comeback. Spy Girl saying, new to Discord, do I need to sign up for the R Academy trading and indicators? Do you do live trading? See the Arc Voice channel. So the Arc Voice channel is part of the I'm sorry, the Arc Voice channel is actually the public one. The R Academy is actually where I host master classes for the subscribers to the indicators. You don't have to subscribe to the indicators if you don't want to. It's just that there are perks for the people who do subscribe to the indicators that I include. So just know that it's not absolutely like a rule that you have to do. In fact, the Discord is free. So if does that answer your question correctly? Was I able to answer that? I'm sorry, I don't know exactly what you meant, right? So, oh my goodness. Are you talking about David Parr? I'm not. Are you Frommer good or bad? Are you talking about the 1800s large recoil handgun, like those old guns with I mean the huge barrel, right? I don't actually like the huge recoil, right? Do you remember what I was talking about on that? Are you talking about guns? Is that what you're talking about? So Steven saying COVID was a big help with this anxiety pattern. Oh my goodness. So Spy Girl, actually here is the link to the Discord, right? Go into the Discord and then send me a DM and I'll go ahead and give you all the information as soon as the stream is done. I'll give you the what the indicators look like, a PDF, right? And I'll give you the subscription packages and all of that stuff, right? So David Parker saying, LOL, no, CEO CRTD. I have no idea. I do not care about CEOs at all. Remember, guys, I actually care about numbers. Statistical variety. That would essentially be what I like the most. But yeah, that was it for CRTD, right? I didn't even give it a... Guys, we're not going to rate that one, okay? We can't rate CRTD because it has some downside to be figured out. I think that as we get closer to the targets of to the real supply demand zone, sorry, then that way we can absolutely make this this rating here, okay? So Steven's saying, can you tell us the indicators cost and details? Yeah, sure. Guys, so let me go ahead and just refer to that information here, and we'll go ahead and now just end all of the analysis per the tickers, right? But I'll give it to you. All right, so the frequently asked questions are actually posted here by Cal. Everything is there except that nobody really knows how the price structure works, like publicly, right? So you can do it. You can do we don't have an auto monthly system yet. In fact, it's actually something that I'm researching right now. So we do have a monthly. We have a 3-month. We have I think it was a 6-month and an annual, and also a lifetime access. So for example, the single month would be, let's see, what is your username in Discord? Sorry, new to Discord. Not sure, even got to send a DM. So actually it's Arca Bulls, and you know what? Let me actually share with you. Dosery, I absolutely agree. I definitely see that there's this area down here at that 36 cent zone is just, man, some explosions can can happen from there, especially because it has so much sentiment behind it. I can literally just only imagine, right? So here you go, Spy Girl. So take a look at the screen. This is the welcome page where you're actually gonna be taken to, right? So in the welcome page, oh my goodness, I have messages to look at. Wow. Okay, so all right, so in the welcome page here, refer to this section back here. Okay, please go ahead and follow the instructions first. Okay, you need a valid. I'm not sure if we did something with the number already. She's in the Discord already. Okay, great. Thank you, brother. So now that you're in the welcome page, it's located here. You see that? The welcome page is saying that you're in this area and you can chat in here. And then everybody who's in the welcome page, but don't do it, okay? Don't chat in the welcome page. This is just for everybody to come in, and this is where everybody gets collected, right? If you refer a little bit higher, you'll start to see what Cal posted a little earlier today. These are instructions and showing you where to report scammers if you see it, frequently asked questions for the indicators, channel guides, you know, the welcome page. It shows you, and he's literally being kind enough to show you what everything here on the left does, right? When I post plays, they're actually under the strategies play category, right? And you can see all the tickers that I'm covering and I'm updating as long as they do remain relevant. Okay, so for example, today, you can actually get a quick glimpse over the tickers that I posted today because I don't post all of them. So you can go to announcements. In here, you'll be able to see what plays I posted up just today. So I posted up GTII, AMC, COSM, and CLNV, and here we are right now in the live. Okay, now to send a DM, you actually can just search for me, right? So how would you do it, Cal? Would you search for me just here, just Arca? You would actually have to friend request me, right? So, oh, actually, no, she doesn't have to friend request me. You can just send a DM to me. Okay, I often talk. Refer to one of these. You see this little logo here on the announcements page? Go here. And then you can actually send me a DM from that area too, right? So if I were to talk to somebody else, who else? Let me go to a random person because I can't send a message to myself. T Wood, right? So right over here. You can actually just mention me and then I'll see you and then I'll send you a DM. So you can literally write this here. You'll send a message and it'll show up. Okay, so that's how to do it. Okay, so I hope that this was clear enough. But she doesn't know where DMs are located in the upper left. Oh, right. So this is what you're talking about. So if you're still in the welcome page, right? Let's go back to that welcome. If you're still in this welcome page, go ahead and just take a look at the DMs right up here. Okay, this is where you can go. I'm afraid to even open it because there's like people there and stuff. And find or start a conversation is where you can find me. Please remember that you want to make sure to, just in case that there is somebody else, that has the Arca name, which, by the way, everybody's being so kind by reporting that there are Arca imposters in this report scammers area. Look, so in the report scammers area, people go in and they say, hey, this is a new one over here. This guy is not good. So somebody always takes my name. There's a bunch of imposters up in here, right? And so the moderators are so awesome to check off every single one that gets, that just comes in and beats around the bush over here. So yeah, I'm not sure what I was trying to get, where I was trying to get at, but just know that you can do a lot of things in Discord. Guys, I don't even know what I was saying that for, but I'm still thinking of the tickers and stuff. My goodness. Were you guys able to see? Oh, okay. You guys were able to see this whole time, right? In Discord, when I stream, I can't just bring in a new window and then show you things. So it's very interesting the way Discord streaming works is you have to check off the, you have to select what screen you want to show, right? So Spy Girl, I hope that you were able to see that. And, yeah. So, Dosri saying, give them range. Don't just crowd around the stocks everyone is following. Look at gold. Oh, man. So I haven't even began to actually show the tickers that I would trade. In fact, I've only showed people the tickers valuation that I like to play. So I like to play small caps, right? So, and in fact, the US 30, the XAU, also spy plays are also good. So those types of things I do like to play. I've been considering into introducing people into the WTI which would be oil futures, because man, one contract can make so much money. But yeah, so Spy Girl saying perfect. Just sent you a text test message. Okay, so you want to see? You want to see how it loads up on my end? Like, just everybody tends to send messages to me, and I'm just like, man, I can't keep up with all the messages all the time, right? So if I go to here's the request, right? Oh, I have another request here from a day ago. Damn, my goodness. So let's just go ahead and accept that one and accept that one. And I see you, Spy Girl. Very cool picture. Did you draw that? All right. So let's go ahead and just leave that there and now move on with our rest of the night. Actually, guys, that was definitely the last ticker I was looking at tonight. My goodness. I can't express to you how much I am thankful for everybody stopping by. What did we end up doing? God, that was a lot of tickers. All right. So, guys, remember CRTD is very dangerous. I don't want you guys to be in that all the time. It's super scary. Okay? I don't want you guys to lose any money. Guys, actually, I'm sorry. Let's go ahead and just look at Tesla. Because you know, this is also a very important play. So dividend ETF, cover my monthly bills, tech and that too. Yes, man, teaching them the ETF side of things would be great. So I'm actually trying to gain popularity by covering these popular tickers and helping retail not be stuck in them, right? But what I'm noticing is that they usually come back with, I'm already stuck in it. So it's already a little weird, right? So let's go ahead and refer to ticker symbol TSLA and see what it's doing for us. Okay, you guys? So. All right. Oh man. Yeah, like I said, guys, this is very, very dangerous. And we're looking at the bleeding markets right now. My goodness. If we're able to see a continuation to the downside, please remember that, I mean, this is just really accumulating here because of all the different plays, right? So we're going to have to eventually clean this up a bit because this is getting a little too messy and a little too crowded. So Spy Girl saying, you are great and you have a great community. Happy to be a part of your community. It is our community, Spy Girl. All right, so just make sure to go ahead and, oh, you already did. So yeah, I remember, I just replied. I'm sorry. I'm thinking out loud right now. So I'll go ahead and share the information with you on that, okay? So Tesla had a recall today on what? No way, on the battery? Or please don't tell me it's a battery, because I'm sure there's been a lot of issues with the batteries lately. Let's see. The National Highway Traffic Safety Administration on Thursday announced Tesla would call 362,758 vehicles due to the safety issues with its full self-driving beta software. Wow. That paired alongside bleeding markets, is really unfortunate. Tesla bled me today. Oh, guys, I was waiting to get long some calls in that zone down here. So, oh my goodness, tight stops, people, absolutely tight stops. I actually refrained from entering Tesla because the price action to the downside was a little bit faster than I would prefer. So I wanted to see if I can gain some long calls here, but it was coming down too fast. I'm like, ooh, this feels a little volatile. So let me hold back. I canceled the buy order, and I think it was pretty good. Right. So right when you start to long the puts is right when the thing goes up. So Kal-El saying, to be honest, Tesla moves with such momentum. It took an entire day to react to the recall news. Yeah, and it really is in respects to the valuation. You're looking at a massive cap here. It's for every reason that they call them mega caps, right? So the float is literally 2.6 bill. You're looking at a market cap of 639 billion. My goodness. Yeah, this has the power to move markets, and I wouldn't even be surprised if it was Tesla who pressured the markets down, aside from getting a PPI read that was essentially a miss, but also a beat. And I'm saying that because we were expecting a 5.4% PPI read, but then we actually got a 6, right? Last PPI reporting producer price index was 6.5. So we're in the right direction, except that there was an I don't know, the market's overreacted. So there was an overreaction, and that paired with this really strange bad news to come in alongside A bad PPI reading screams all kinds of weird things. Okay, so the markets you saw NDX the NDX ended up losing about two whole points, 1.94 I think. So yeah, absolutely, Samantha. We'll definitely get into that. Dividend ETFs are able to give you some pretty interesting passive income, so high yield stuff. So in this case, guys, I'm really worried about Tesla at this point. It is facing some some support from not only the broadening descending wedge, newly converted resistance into support, but also from a very short term, a very short period EMA, right? So this is the 7-period EMA, and we're actually right at it right now. This candle, let's go ahead and see what the 12 hour is doing. We still continue to the downside on that 12 hour after hours trading, right? So no, so it wasn't PPI. Was it Fed Bullard? What did he say now? That guy is the biggest bear. I swear, that guy seriously just speaks all kinds of crap and then makes the markets just capitulate. Dosari, thank you so much for that information. Please go ahead and let me know. I should have sold Tesla at 103. Sold it? Oh, you should have YOLO'd it. Sorry. Kal-El at Arca. How much for the Arca Bulls electrolyte sippy cup? Well, if you go to the liquor store and find a drink called Gatorade, you'll see that it's $1.49. Oh my goodness. Oh man. Guys, I have to express to you the dangers of the markets right now. We're bleeding out a little crazy, okay? So I'm sorry. I know that there's a lot of people who ended up losing some money on this play, right? Because we were essentially on a bull run, right? But it just, for some reason, it invalidated, which, by the way, it's okay. The thing is that it's going to present another opportunity for people to get long, okay? So if we are going to get long this stock, I can give you some targets, right? So just know that we have still to look at some awesome possibilities, right? So Samantha H saying a dividend ETF, like I mean, we can look into VIG. We can look into the high dividend. The high dividend for Vanguard would actually be the VYM and things like that. But I mean, I think there's also a good way to go. There's also energy. We can look at the XLE, right? So but the thing is that we would have to really dive into that, because sometimes those yields can actually go up to, I think, maybe even 4% or 5%, right? But they're usually around 2.8, 3.4. There's so many. There are a lot. We would have to actually research what would be the best one and which one has the best yield, the PE ratios, right? So this is for long-term investment. So meaning that if we remember, Michael Burry is still calling a downside here. So Stephen, have a very good night. Be well, and I will catch you at the morning. All right. Be safe. Be safe. Be safe. Yeah. So if we're looking at so Dosary is saying the key is to average in consistently over the years and reinvest the yields. The thing is that right now, Michael Burry is still calling another 50% drop. So the best averaged area that we would have looked at in the broader markets would have probably been in January this year, right? But we don't know. At those points, everything is super, super low, right? So you're looking at option ETFs. Yeah, 12% is pretty high. A lot of people ended up liquidating their ETF high yield dividends because of what was happening in crypto. Like, for example, crypto.com staking was offering a 20% annual return. 20%. I mean, that sounds sketchy. You know what I mean? So also the stable coins UST and USDT also were offering about a 17% return annual. So that's, I mean, dude, it's just a lot of people lost their royalty. They lost all of their freaking money by coming out of by coming out of the regulated ETFs into going into decentralized options. So that's just goes to show, right? I my heart goes out to all those people who lost their money, by the way. So I'm not by any means like saying that you should have known, but the thing is that at that point is also like, it's just, crypto is such a baby, you know. Crypto is only what, like 14, 15 years old. Is barely anything. So Joe is saying Burry is constraining. Yeah, he says sell while he's buying. Well, he did say sell, and he did show a short on Tesla. This was about a few days ago. It's interesting. So I think he already knew something was about to go down. The dude is the spectrum, brilliant, but attention whore. Absolutely. And I think it comes with his high percentage of autism, which, by the way, I think I have a little bit of autism in me. And my wife was telling me, are you autistic? And I said, I've never actually tested for that, but I wouldn't be surprised if I was. So Arca, when you're going to start interviewing the CEOs, actually, I would like to interview millionaire traders instead of CEOs. If I can interview some high stakes traders, like, for example, Eric Crown, Evan Shunk, Dr. Ellers, Lance Breitstein. He would be another great one to interview. And in particular to the systematic world, to the mathematical guys. I would like to start interviewing them, because I would learn a great deal, and I would then pass on the information. A guy that's sort of doing that, but he actually combines a lot of discretionary traders alongside mathematical traders. That would be the Trader. He actually interviews a lot of people, but sometimes I feel like he actually just wants to get out of the trader the information that makes you motivated to trade, and why you have to be so diligent about your schedule and your diets, and how, like, what made you do this and what made you do that. So I would actually take a different approach than that, and I would actually ask the traders how their imaginations work to come up with the sequence or the mathematical model to understand price direction, right? Because price is actually the valuation where we expect something to be at in the future. It's actually not relevant or pertaining to now. Price is a very interesting and it's a very interesting metric to keep in mind or to take into consideration. So as it represents a future, and it doesn't represent necessarily the now, right? And it's ever evolving and ever changing too. So I would like to express those concerns and those types of notions to traders who actually, practice math, with trading, and they would likely share their perspectives, of which I would be so excited to hear. Yeah, but yeah, you guys, I really love that we're able to talk and like have these conversations, right? Because they're so I learn a lot from you guys too, all the time, actually. And I didn't take into consideration the amount of passion that trading can actually introduce. So that's I really mean what I say in my price follows momentum. Absolutely. That is absolutely a golden rule for a lot of traders, actually. So, which is why I look at historical momentum, right? It really is a golden rule. So, let's see. Hound, I think the market could tank all next week, maybe starting tomorrow, then rally for a while, maybe until early summer, then crash hard. There is already an existing notion, Hound, regarding that, actually. That the fact that we're getting a dovish Fed right now. I mean, I'm talking about a dovish Jerome Powell, because apparently Bullard is being the biggest bear again. That guy is a huge bear. So if we keep on stimulating, if we keep on the rate hikes at a minimum, meaning the 25 BIP, if that continues to happen, then we could essentially be guaranteeing an actual recession following year. So I mean, we're not where we're supposed to be. They're talking about a 2% CPI. So I don't know. If we're slowing down, I guess the quantitative easing could do some work, and by then it could mathematically work out. But I'm not sure if it's I'm not sure if they're even looking to statistical historical data. I think they're basing it forward looking, right? So like, for example, Jerome Powell may be reacting to data that's coming in rather than reacting to the data that's coming in based on historical events. So if he's not factoring in the statistical side of things, then we're at the mercy of discretion, and we're not at the mercy of a mathematical probability, which would in essence be highly dangerous for everyone in the markets. So I'm just saying, it's a very tedious thing that we're in right now, right? A lot of people are saying that we have been in a recession since November 2021, actually. But if we're looking at a recession now, then whatever could happen in 2024 would essentially introduce a depression. So, and yet again another bear cycle. I don't know, man. That's really macro talk, and that's I guess I can potentially see it, but I wouldn't use the SPY for that. I would actually use the SPX, and I would actually have to backtest the SPX against the Dow Jones, against the against the VIX too. It would be a huge mathematical model. It would take me a while, actually, but the SPX would be the first one to look at, and I think that would be. I really do think that would be an interesting start or guideline for us to understand what the potentials could be for our future. And historically speaking, of course, I'm not talking about certainties here. Never talking about certainties. So there is that possibility, right? So we would actually have to reference the quarterly, right? So we have data going back to about. It looks like, no way. Can we even see that data though? It looks at 1872. I would be backtesting all the way. Like I wouldn't actually, yeah. So we actually have data from 1971. So I would start here, and then I would start to take into consideration volatility versus momentum. And in this case, we would just continue building and building so that we can understand where things can potentially be based on prior events. So if we're looking at the quarterly chart right now, we're actually contracting from a critical volatility read, which was about the 90 percentile, right? So in this contraction paired with momentum suggesting a downside, we're looking at downside very likely in the coming I would say 4 to 5, maybe even 6 months. We can see capitulation soon. And I'm not talking about soon in relative to like 2 days or 3 days. I'm really talking about soon as in within a year. And this is high probability downside here. And so taking into account the very little iterations on a quarterly chart, I get it. Like there's not as many, but I can still see that there are capitulation events based on this. Like for example, here I can show you right here we have a contraction phase starting in this was about 1981, right? So we can see that we have high expansion or critical expansion and into contraction alongside momentum suggesting the downside. We actually faced a correction of, let's see, that looks pretty substantial, actually, considering that it was that year. So this would be, wow, massive. Let's see, that was a 35, almost a 36% decline in 1971. So you can imagine just how much turmoil this can present. And but inversely, there are times to where we've critically expanded into an upside, right? So this is exactly why I would be backtesting this to gain the probability starting from the 3 month and down, right? So Leo saying they are doing a great job already taking my money. Dosary saying it's great, y'all. Let's see, covering all bases. Don't piss into the wind. Absolutely, yeah. gambling your gains, definitely not a good thing. Okay, so check this out. Right over here, we on this was 29, I think. Yeah, very familiar price action here. So in 1929, we actually faced. Let's see, my goodness. 1929, we actually faced a capitulation from critical expansion from which we're retracing from right now. Okay, and momentum was already peaked at critical overbought. I mean, this was a huge bull cycle that we actually faced. You know, we were literally thinking that we were going to rocket ship to the moon forever from here. Greed was in, I mean, I'm talking about from 1921 to 1929. This was, I mean, it's no wonder why they you know, this is a golden era, right? So the decline faced from this based on a contraction phase starting from where we are right now was a massive fall, and this was nothing to actually, that was 84%. It returned 84% from which it gained over the span of, let's see, 547 days. Do you know what 547 days is? Does anyone know what 547 days is? 18 months. I just gave you a hint right there. Do you know what 547 days is for the markets? Go ahead and chime in into the chat if you know what that means, other than the fact that it is 18 months, which is a hint. I want to know if anyone knows what 547 days tends to represent in market cycles, in economic cycles, better said. So if so 18 months, right? So two approximately. So what 547 days is actually the average of a recession. So on average, a recession can last a total of about 18 months or 547 days. So it's very curious that we actually faced exactly that upon the correction of the 1929 crash. So and it's been like that, right? So very interesting that we did get that from contraction. So it looks like there was another correction right over here, a very small one though. So take a look at this section right over here. So it looks like we did, maybe this one right over here. There we go. So we actually went into a very similar area that we were facing here, right? So this is critical expansion again. And then this was, let's see, 1956, right? So 1956, we actually faced, yeah, it definitely is. Dosari, absolutely. It is absolutely cyclical. So the correction that we faced, again, please notice that this was from the expansion into contraction here, alongside momentum at overbought, right? And then pivoted towards that downside. So the correction that we faced here was actually about a 21% decline in the 50s, mid 50s. So that's yet again another iteration to where we actually faced that downside from critical expansion. Another critical expansion zone right here that we actually ended up facing was right at the peak. And guys, I mean, look at this. This was 2000. This was the dot-com bubble. We were, again, right in the area where we're in right now. I'm talking about very similar. You see this right here? That's us right now. And this was the dot-com bubble. We even went higher in the dot-com bubble. Impressive. So that actually started to contract to the downside, right? And then we actually were critically overbought. And we faced a correction of, let's see, that is about a 50% correction to the downside following the virus, right? But it's just goes to show that the probabilities that we're facing right now are absolutely in line with leading into something bigger, right? So I see in a macro perspective that it looks bullish. It still is bullish, right? It looks good, but it's just a cycle, and it doesn't mean that we have to just go up from here, right? So these corrections happen all the time. Also, you can look at or refer to the 6 month, and this was a huge indication that we were going to face we were going to face a downside. Here is a huge bearish engulfing, right? So we got a bearish engulfing candle formation. Then it actually started to that downside. The pivotal points are actually, they're showing a lot of relevance to that, especially in Bitcoin. It actually shows the 6-month showing some huge. This is the 1973 crash, bearish engulfing, right? Then we crashed. So here is the crash of 69. This is a bearish engulfing as well. A bearish engulfing here on the correction that we faced in 61. Bearish engulfing here that we faced in 1952. And this wasn't exactly a bearish engulfing, but it is a bearish formation, right? So here's a huge bearish engulfing for 1929, massive bearish engulfing. So this essentially gave us that huge downside. So yeah, just when you start to getting into predictive analysis, it would actually land in the monthly minimum candle structure. So yeah, you would look at potential of a monthly candle, so then you could start to predict prices, not essentially forecast them. The predictability starts to be a little tighter once you start getting into macro time frame, which helps. So those are saying adjust the charts with interest rates and the devaluation of the dollar. You'll see something mind blowing. Oh my God. I do want to do that, right? But I actually have to get going. It's already midnight and I have to get to my little guy. But I wanted to show some of the things that I've actually shared in some of the master classes that I've been hosting in Discord. Nonetheless, we've been writing a huge, there could even be, let me see this. Remember that global debt is in dollars. That way the charts look like this. Right. Yes, absolutely. So what we're facing right now, I mean, in comparison to other capitulation events, is actually very small, right? But this would be an event of deleveraging. If you don't know what that means, it's just it's taking away the greed by trading with money you don't have, right? So corrections happen when the global open interest reaches maximum high, which was something that we actually reached at in November. We were heavily, the global open interest was at maximum high. So at that, yeah, absolutely, you're right. No one else can print. It's just us. And every time we print, we devalue that. Right. So, yeah, let's see. T Wood saying late fee for being late, but caught up, and VS Juicy. Awesome backtest. Agree. Absolutely. T Wood. We're definitely going to look into that. So yeah, you guys, thank you so much for your dono, my friend. So yeah, this is essentially what happened here, you guys. It was, the global open interest was at a maximum high greed. And, at some point, somebody was going to start taking some profit, right? So, and I'm talking about people who were long Bitcoins, like from 9,000 or 4,000 or 5,000 Bitcoin, right? Selling their long positions at about $69,000 or 60,000, right in there. So that capitulation created a huge deleveraging event, which would essentially scare out investors and retail investors specifically from their leveraging, right? So on the way down, we actually did relever a bunch of times, but it got delevered again. So those are really interesting times for us to right now. These times that we're facing right now are absolutely learning events for all of us. In fact, all of us here who are minding what's happening in the markets are likely to come out as winners in the next 2 to 3 years, entering another bull cycle. So basically, Amy saying, is there a set time for these indicator masterclasses? No, not just yet. In fact, and the reason why is because I'm still trying to figure out me within this, right? So, I never actually intended for this thing to grow, right? So I'm trying to figure out how I can run this so that I can also share my knowledge with, with retail and stuff. So I will and that's a very strong question. Trust me when I say that they're always pressuring Cal-El to to figure out, to have him tell me, bro, you need to figure out a schedule. I'm like, oh my goodness, guys. Dosari saying Bitcoin is less than 1% of the markets. My goodness. I promise you, the return of the billions of dollars in that and the loss of the recent $21 billion, aside from that, I believe it, but also it delevered a lot of people. Trillions are locked in debt in dollars, and we are never going to pay that back. Those trillion, I'm talking, what is it right now? Dosari, are you familiar with that overall cap? I think it's at $151 trillion, the debt, right? It's some crazy number like that. It's ridiculous, guys. What's going on? What do you mean $151 trillion? What is it? Where does that exist? Of course, only in the US. Guys, the markets can react negatively if we start to talk about the Fed's balance sheet. Okay, so if they start talking about their balance sheet, we will not like it. We'll literally capitulate the markets if they start talking about that. No good. Just have all of retail join the Discord. Absolutely agreed, man. I would love for that to happen. Oh man. But yeah, you guys, I think this was a great chat. I will have to actually I would love to actually just end it now, because we've been at it. We've been at it with the white vans the entire time, you guys. I really enjoyed spending the time here with the peeps, right? I appreciate all the donations too as well, my friends. So Dosari saying you're on the correct path. Just don't get tied up with tunnel vision. Try to see it as you being the guy in charge. Well, you know, and don't see it as a victim. See it as a dollar as king. Yeah, I absolutely do. Dosari, I actually have to tell you how I really see the markets, though. I end up seeing the markets more like I'm talking about like I see it as a game more than anything, right? And I know it's money. I get it. But I put it on my Twitter handle. I put, as soon as you start seeing the markets or evaluating them, we're seeing them as games of strategies, the faster things will change for you, right? So Spy Girl saying, thank you again for everything. Good night, and thank you for sharing your knowledge with us. I appreciate you. Thank you so much for sharing that. And I am most humbled to do that, right? For retail. So yeah, guys, I actually in this I explained this a few times though. as I try to get as I try to, you know, see the charts in anticipation of being right or wrong, right? I forget to enter. Just because I want to see if the stats played out. So I've done a fair share of forward testing with no opportunities taken. Oh my goodness. So yeah, I really love it. And I think it's because I've only been trading for a little bit of time, right? So this is probably the reason why I'm missing the entry, and also the reason why also because I don't have my automated system just set up yet, which by the way, I'm building a bot for. So as soon as the algorithm is done for that bot, I guess I'm going to share a few strategies in the Discord as well. Dosari, musical chairs is right. It is a game. But yeah, you guys, I really appreciate everybody for stopping by. Absolutely love to chat with you guys. George T, have a very good night. Mark Roach, my moderators, always so good. Dosari, have a very good night. Thank you for sharing your knowledge here with us. T Wood, love you, my buddy. Be safe, be well. Cal L, Samantha H, and Beso Amy, if you're still there, thank you for everything you do and for being here. Okay, you guys. So I wish you well, a very good night, and I will catch you at the bell later. Actually, it's already 12:08, right? Adios, guys.